Learfield and JMU Athletics presents Colonial Athletic Association football on this Halloween weekend from Harrisonburg, Virginia, on the campus of James Madison University in beautiful Bridgeport Stadium. Today, we have the Dukes of James Madison, 6-1 overall, 4-1 in the CAA, against the Phoenix of Elon, 4-3 overall, 3-1 in the Colonial Athletic Association. A very pleasant good afternoon, everyone. He is Steve Buckhantz. I'm Kurt Dudley. Great to have you with us once again here today. And Steve, first of all, a lot of storylines, of course, with this one, but the last time Elon visited Bridgeport Stadium, they had a different head coach.
Yeah, a guy named Curt Cignetti, who's the head coach at James Madison, was at Elon, where he built a terrific program there, won a lot of games, doing the same thing in Harrisonburg. Interesting matchup today.
Indeed. So the Dukes, they come in with two very good road wins. The last time they played at Bridgeport, in fact, they suffered the loss to Villanova. For the Phoenix of Elon, they've won 3 in a row, so they're flying high certainly coming into this. Let's take a look at some of those numbers that have shown how they have got to this point thus far. And first of all, Steve, it keeps jumping off the charts at all of us, the defense for James Madison.
Yeah, I mean, this will be a battle, Kurt, between Elon's air attack, which is formidable, and the Dukes defense, which has just been smothering. Last week, they held Delaware to just 109 total yards of offense, just 25 yards total in the second half. In fact, the last 2 games, the Dukes defense hasn't allowed a single point in the second half.
Well, for the Phoenix of Elon, they've got a very good quarterback, arguably the best in the CAA in Davis Cheek. We'll talk more about him certainly as the game progresses, but he's got a number of very good targets, and we'll start with a guy who, by my definition, is having a breakout season, and that is Jackson Parham.
Yeah, he leads the CAA in receiving yards per game. He's second in the conference in catches per game. Had a huge game last Saturday against New Hampshire, 6 grabs for 122 receiving yards. That was a career high for him. He's got 607 yards on the season. Cortez Weeks is another target for Davis Cheeks and a guy to keep an eye on. In fact, they've got 5 guys with at least 20 receptions this season.
A lot for the Dukes to concentrate on coming up from that receiving core. For the Dukes of JMU, this guy just does nothing but set records. He is the all-time leader in scoring in the FCS, Ethan Ratke.
Yeah, there just aren't enough accolades to toss Ratke's way. Tied the CAA record with 5 field goals last week at Delaware. That's a JMU single-game record as well. In fact, he has single-handedly outscored the Dukes' last 2 opponents, Delaware and Richmond, with 16 and 13 points respectively. Really, his only blemish this season were the 2 missed field goals and the loss to Villanova, which were totally uncharacteristic.
A very big weekend in the CA. These 2 teams, 1 loss in conference play, another very big ball game. Villanova unbeaten, hosting once beaten William & Mary. We'll keep an eye on that one for you as well. The Dukes and the Phoenix, it's coming up next, and it's presented by Learfield.
These are beautiful.
Yes, your new baby is here. Now all you want is to take her for a spin. But you can't.
Stop.
Because your other baby, the human one, just opened a nail salon. No problem. CarMax delivers right to your door, so you don't have to lift a finger. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
At James Madison University, investing in student athletes is investing in moments. And those student athletes push the limits, make new discoveries, win championships, and walk across the stage as graduates. For them to reach the top, they need your support. Help build today's champions, tomorrow's leaders. Join the Duke Club today. Every gift, every donor matters.
Tea is something to discover. You can't be impatient. When I craft pure leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts. I fine-tune the blend according to what comes from nature. I want people to experience the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. That's why I taste and taste until I craft a smooth, delicious iced tea. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Today's game is presented by United Bank. United Bank. Save today for a secure tomorrow. Welcome back, everyone, to Bridgeport Stadium. We're ready for today's ball game between the Dukes and the Phoenix of Elon. Today's XL Heating and Cooling time and temperature, just a little bit after 2 o'clock, quite obviously. 56 degrees. Good, only a 20% chance of rain. We did have some earlier today, some pretty heavy-looking crowds in the area. We might get another blast or 2, but we'll see how that does pan out. Well, the Dukes, they lost the toss. Elon won and deferred. So JMU will get the football to start today's ball game. And back to receive for James Madison is Solomon Van Horst. And he will receive it at the 6-yard line, and he's going to try to bring it up for James Madison. The Dukes in their purples today finds a bit of a seam to the 30, gets to the outside to the 35, and pulled down there at the 38-yard line. And bringing him down was Trey Alsbrooks.
Great starting position for the Dukes. We'll see how Cole Johnson does. He was a little bit off last week in the win at Delaware. Many of his passes were high, didn't seem to have a rhythm going. We'll see if he's corrected that this week and see how the Elon defense does against Cole Johnson and a plethora of running backs for James Madison.
Yeah, Cole Johnson, a senior out of Virginia Beach, Virginia, went to Cox High School, and he starts out with Latrell Palmer in the backfield with him. The handoff goes to Latrell. He breaks one tackle and bowls his way across the 40, stays on his feet, and brings a couple of Phoenix tacklers with him to the 45-yard line. Good second effort for the big man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example of how strong Latrell Palmer is. If you look at him from the waist down, his legs, his thighs are just very, very strong, and he can power those running game.
Today's starting lineups presented to you by Door Gorilla. Door Gorilla, the official garage door provider of JMU Athletics. Here's Johnson to the air for the first time. He has Wells all alone. It was a one-on-one coverage, and man, he had a big cushion to work with. There is your first Ergie's cheesesteak, first down of the game.
Wells on the outside just stops, waits for the pass, and that's a good-looking throw. It's a good sign for Cole Johnson because that one wasn't high. It was right on the money.
Dukes will put 5 into the pattern this time, although he's going to bring in Palmer up tight. Palmer is becoming more of a passing or receiving threat for the Dukes. They're going to hand the football off to him. He tries to get to the outside, and he is knocked down there. And Trayvon Jones brings him down for the loss of 1 on the play. Elon with 10 tackles for loss last week. Here's the starting defensive lineup for the Phoenix of Elon. And keep an eye on number 12, Devontae Chandler. He is the leading tackler for this team from Elon, North Carolina. Dukes have played this against the Phoenix for 10 times now, including today. And one thing we didn't note there on the starting lineup for the Dukes, Liam Fernattle is back in at the right tackle, going over the top, looking for Thurston. And that is going to fall incomplete. Beg your pardon, Chris Thornton, rather. Thornton in 46 receptions coming in to today's ball game. Third down and 11 for JMU.
Elon defense has been tough. Last week they recorded 10 tackles for loss in the 24-10 win against New Hampshire.
Dukes will 4 in the pattern this time. And Johnson going to the air. He's got Wells. Wells with the grab. He makes the catch. Yes, it's good for another Ergie's cheesesteak first down at the 32-yard line.
Fabulous catch, but that play was made possible by the offensive line. He had all day to throw the football. Look at him stand back there, able to look at different receivers, finally find one, put it right on the money. But again, credit the offensive line for giving him time to find his receiver.
Jaden Dennis was there defensively for Elon to make sure he got out of bounds. And the Dukes will switch up with a double tight end formation. That is Cheatham on the outside and Noah Turner on the inside. They hand off, nope, faking it here to the near side. That is pulled in by Chris Thornton. Thornton has his first reception of the day. Defensively, Torrance Williams is with him and Shamari Wingard.
That fake up the middle is such an important play because not only can you get yardage out of it, but it sets up what can happen down the road, which will be at some point Cole Johnson hanging onto the football and running it around the end. So that's really a setup play.
Well, Duke's very close to the red zone, which has been a topic of discussion. We'll talk about that, too, in the most recent past. And here is Johnson, the handoff. This is Bryant. Bryant cuts against the grain and bowls his way. Good, strong running here by the Dukes. Not a lot of big holes, but great second efforts for James Madison. Marcus Hillman eventually brings him down.
Yeah, I think the offensive line has done a good job in their surge on these run plays, also on the protection. So far, Signetti mixing it up really well on this Dukes drive.
Now, Lorenzo Bryant, the transfer from the University of Rhode Island in his 7th season, actually, playing college football. It's a long story, obviously, as well. And the handoff goes to Bryant. He finds a seam over the left side as he follows that hole set up there by Liam Fernattle. Fernattle going down with a leg injury in the season opener. We did not know whether he would make it back, but boy, he has come back strong for JMU. And that puts the Dukes into the red zone. And it's a 1st and goal to go at the 9. This time Palmer is back there. The double tight end to the right. Wells to the right. Palmer goes straight ahead and picks up about 3 yards on the carry. So 2nd down and goal. They'll spot the ball right at about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, you figure this is a situation where you're going to get a little play action. And Johnson looking for somebody, maybe his tight end over the middle. But that interior line has been clogged up by the Elon defense.
Elon has been very good in red zone defense as well, number 5 in the country. And again, it is Palmer as he does a typical Latrell Palmer rush. Josh Johnson brings him down. The Dukes knocking at the door, 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, again, they go up the middle. Not a lot there. It sets up what could be a play fake situation here, but for the Dukes, even in short yardage at this point, you figure they're looking for a pass play, but who knows what Cignetti will do.
They've got 3 tight ends in there now as far as their positions, with Cheatham and Turner to the right and Kelly Mitchell to the left. And the handoff goes to Bryant. He tries to work his way to the left side, but a stack of Elon jerseys shows up to deny him the end zone. Torrance Williams leading the charge.
Yeah, the run-pass option, and that time he handed it off. And
Steve, watch this now. 4th and about 2, and the Dukes are bringing in a jumbo package as Mike Green and Bryce Carter are in the backfield now on the right side. A jumbo formation for the Dukes.
Yeah, Green obviously a great defensive player. He's in there on offense.
And it's Bryant. It's Bryant as the quarterback. He's got it. He's going to find the big fellas.
He's not going to get there.
I don't think he's going to get in.
Great defensive stand by Elon, and not loving the play calling on that last 2 plays.
Nick Velos stops the Dukes.
Offside. Defense.
Oh, wow.
Number 99.
Wow.
Half the distance to the goal. Replay 4th down.
This is huge.
You know, Steve, yeah, that's an automatic 1st down, or they're going to replay this down here. And for the Dukes, a situation where, no, they didn't get in the end zone, but it may have just, got Elon a little bit off its rocker.
It's very possible that it did. It remains 4th down, so they get a mulligan on this drive. And now let's see what Cignetti does after 4 straight tries of running the football and not getting in from the 9-yard line.
Well, they bring out a different formation this time. Do have the receiver. It's Ravenel, who's out here all by his lonesome. They hand off. No, this is, again, Bryant, and he is brought down again. So the Dukes go 0 for 2 on the 4th and goal. But again, offsides on Elon, it appears to be.
Offside. Defense. Number 33. Half the distance to the goal. Replay 4th down.
Well, half the distance is goal isn't very much.
This has been a trick, not a treat so far for the Phoenix. And the Dukes with yet another opportunity. Do they hand the ball off again up the middle, or do they try something else?
Matt Overton is the referee. He was actually the referee when they met here the last time. And this time Bryant backs his way in. The ball comes loose. Elon says it has it. And let's see what the officials will rule here. And it is. It's a fumble for James Madison, a recovery. Marvin Pearson.
As the runner was short of the goal line, fumbled the ball. The defense recovered. 1st down for Elon.
Well, this is a big punch for Elon. A great defensive stand.
The previous play is under further review.
And you have to see how demoralizing this will be for James Madison.
Yeah, they will review this. Interesting. Again, the defense is ranked number 5 in the red zone for Elon. They've allowed 15 scores in 24 red zone trips. So they only allow scoring down there just 37% of the time. And they certainly right now are looking pretty good if this does stay their way, as Bryant could not get in there. So yeah, Palmer, one of your running backs, and Bryant in that series.
Yeah, and no Obase. We didn't. It doesn't matter whether he fumbled or not because
Correct.
He was short and it was 4th down. So it's going to be Elon's football. It just depends where they spot it. Team that is on a 3-game win streak And since falling behind William and Mary 21-0 in the CAA football opener, a game they eventually lost 34-31, they have outscored their conference opponents 108 to 53.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
All right, Corey Spector is with us here this afternoon as well. Let's go quickly down to the sideline for Corey, as this is your Ergie's Cheesesteak sideline report. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Kurt, just taking note of how Lorenzo Bryan was expressing himself after that play. He ran to the sidelines and just jammed his helmet to the turf, visibly frustrated. All of his teammates, though, giving him a pat on the back, and head coach Curt Cignetti also giving him some encouragement as well. So I wouldn't anticipate that Bryant still wouldn't be a huge factor in this game moving forward.
All right, thank you, Corey, and we'll get to Corey many more times in today's contest. And for Cheeks, well, he starts in a tough situation, his own end zone, as they hand the ball off right up the middle. And they go with the first ball carrier is Jalen Thomas, a 5'9", 195-pound junior from Carrollton, Georgia.
Duke's secondary will surely be tested, Kurt, in this game because Davis Cheek is just phenomenal. What a game he had last week. He threw the ball 31 times last week and only missed on 4 of them.
Yeah, he is the national player of the week for his performance. 27 out of 31 last week. He completed 17 passes in a row, and he was the starting quarterback the last time Elon was here in town. A high snap, hands the football off up the middle. It is Sam Kidd on the tackle, and let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Phoenix of Elon. And this is a really, we've talked about JMU's offensive line being young. Elon's offensive line is considerably younger. I haven't checked the birth certificates, but they've got a lot of youngsters on that lineup as well, and they feel like it's gelling here, particularly over the last 3 weeks.
Couple of run-pass options to start the game for Cheek. Let's see what he does on this play.
He does have Thomas in the backfield with him. A stack situation on both the short side and the open side of the field. Here comes the pass attempt, and Isaac Ukwu is there, and he dumps it off. And watch for, that's where Cheeks is kind of the magician. He finds his way out of these things. He does the Houdini move, and he can release it from all points. If he were a baseball pitcher, he would be hard to hit.
Well, Curt Cignetti coached him when Cignetti was at Elon, and he said that he reminded him of Phillip Rivers. Able to move the ball, obviously, on the run, to pass the football. He's got all of those advantages in his arsenal, but this time they come up short, and the Duke's defense holds. He had time in that pocket for a second, but just couldn't find anybody.
Isaac Ukwu eventually forcing him to redirect his focus. Jeff York is the punter as he took over for a very good punter in the history of Elon's program, and this is shanked over to the right end. It's actually going to drop untouched as Jack Schroba will let it tumble down to the turf.
For the second straight possession, James Madison will start with excellent field position, even though they came up with nothing on that last drive.
Well, I tell you what, they had a lot of good field position last week at Delaware. They did come up with a win. We will take our first time out here this afternoon. No score between the Dukes and the Phoenix. You're watching it, presented to you from Learfield. Athletics would like to thank its Team Madison partners. They are Pepsi and Centera. Kurt Dudley, Steve Buckhantz, Corey Spector with you on this Saturday afternoon here at Bridgeport Stadium. Halfway through the first quarter of play, the Dukes with their second offensive possession, both times starting in relatively good field position. Stanley Hubbard is starting at center this week. JT Timmons broke a leg in last week's game. And floating over the middle, he's got Thornton. Thornton with the first down at the 30-yard line for JMU, and he's covered by Coleman.
Well, if you're a JMU fan, then you're excited to see what Cole Johnson has done so far in this game. His passes have been perfect, right on the money. They haven't been high like they were last week at Delaware. He looks like he's got his rhythm right now, and he's getting good protection.
Latrell Palmer will join him in the backfield. He's got Wells set up to the far side, Thornton in the slot, and Brown here to the near side. Drew Painter, the tight end. The Dukes working with 4 tight ends here today. And there he's got Wells, one-on-one coverage, cuts it to the inside, spins out of the tackle, and gets it down to the 12-yard line.
It's amazing what good field position will do for you. That's twice now the Dukes have started terrific in the field and have moved it right down toward the goal line. But this was the problem last possession, and it's been a problem this season.
They're spotting that at the 11-yard line, so the Dukes can pick up a first down without scoring. And Brown here to the low side, and Wells again in the single coverage. Thornton in the slot. That's Painter, the tight end, and Cole will keep it this time. And he'll take it inside the 10 and wraps up the football with both arms. Dropped there at the 8-yard line. Let's take a look at the keys to the game for the Dukes here this afternoon, and it's brought to you by Cross Keys Vineyards. First of all, the dominating defense, top total defensive team in the country. Red zone TDs, well, we've already seen that as part of it. Special teams have been getting good, better, more special each and every week.
Yeah, and that's been a critical factor after what happened last year in the playoffs. Much better this season.
And I'm not talking just about Ethan Ratke. I'm talking about punt coverage, kick return coverage, all of those. Cole Johnson, touchdown, James Madison. Fires it into Mr. Cheatham, and the Dukes are on the board, and finally they get one to break the plane.
And you love to see him go to the tight end because he's a real weapon, not used quite as much as you might think or as much as you might like if you're a Dukes fan. But Cheatham is a terrific player. He found himself wide open, and that pass, again, Kurt, was right on the money.
That's his first touchdown this season, the 8th of his career. Clayton Cheatham and Ethan Ratke will go in to try to tack on the extra point. So the Dukes, they do score in the red zone. Ratke will try to make it a 7-0 lead with 5:53 to play. It is through there, and the Dukes do have the advantage. 7-0. Well, 1 out of 2 in the red zone today are the Dukes of James Madison, but that's a step in the right direction for JMU. We'll be back with more from Bridgeport Stadium. The Dukes leading at 7-0, and it's brought to you, presented by Learfield.
Are you new to the area, hoping to make Harrisonburg or Rockingham County home for the first time? Or are you a longtime resident looking to move or find a more suitable rental home? Look no further. Let Reiner Rentals help make the search for your dream home simple and enjoyable. Whether you're looking for a single-family home, townhouse, duplex, condo, or downtown loft, let us help you find the perfect home with personalized service and local area knowledge. Because at Reiner Rentals, it's not just a rental, it's home.
Toyota was named the best resale value brand by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com for 2021, with 5 models named Best in Class, including Camry, Best Midsize Car, Sienna, Best Minivan, RAV4 Hybrid, Best Hybrid Car, Tacoma, Best Midsize Pickup Truck, and Tundra, Best Full-Size Pickup Truck. For the best in value, there's only one place to go. Toyota. Let's go places.
Potbelly? Potbelly. Potbelly? Potbelly. Potbelly? Potbelly. Potbelly. Our staff is warmer than most places because we're standing so close to the oven.
Potbelly.
Potbelly.
Potbelly?
Potbelly.
At Excel Heating and Cooling, we know you spend a lot of time in your home, maybe more than before. Being comfortable is something you forget about until it becomes a problem. We want you to be comfortable. Get your heating and cooling system tune-up for only $79. We'll make sure your system is keeping you cozy. If there's an issue, we've got solutions like the Excel Comfort Series heat pumps and furnaces. Excel Heating and Cooling. Comfort by design.
CarMax is proud to be the season-presenting sponsor of the 2021 JMU football season, the 50th in the history of the program. CarMax, the way car buying should be. Dukes are on the board. It's a relatively quick drive. 4 plays, 53 yards, 139 off the clock. And the touchdown pass to Clayton Cheatham from Cole Johnson. An 8-yard pass for the TD, and the Dukes lead at 7-0.
Everything clicking for them on both those drives, except the first one didn't have a score, but the second one was very efficient.
That's a fair catch called for it. Elon does not return very many footballs in the kicking game.
Well, and James Madison's kicks are usually short of the goal line, so it looks like that's going to be the situation, although they could choose to return some of those short kicks.
All right, we're going to take another timeout here, folks, as the Dukes lead at 7-0. You're watching it from Learfield.
Most challenging business problems for over 65 years. With best-in-class office productivity solutions from Konica Minolta, HP, Xerox, and Lexmark, Virginia Business Systems provides fast-forward office technology that saves time and money for your business. Call or visit our website today and see how VBS can help your company grow through superior technology and service.
After working together to address COVID-19, here at Centera,
we want to say thank you.
Thank you to our community leaders, faith-based clergy, city leaders, and volunteers. Without your tireless efforts, many would have gone unvaccinated.
Thank you to our team members bravely serving on the front lines, putting the health of patients before all else.
Together, our community partners and team members made progress possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that we achieved together.
Behind every team is a great community. Door Gorilla is proud to be the official garage door provider for JMU Athletics and proud to support their community. When you need a garage door, call 540-740-DOOR and show your support for JMU this season. Go Dukes!
Now that you're ready to travel again, we're here to help you make up for the trips you've missed and reunite with family and friends. At SHD, the travel process is easy and stress-free. Plus, we can help you travel smarter with a clean, less crowded travel experience. Our partnership with United allows you to fly comfortably while seamlessly connecting you to those who matter most around the globe. We know you're ready to make up for lost time, and SHD is ready to welcome you back.
If you're a JMU fan, 6th grade or below, that is, register to win the Top Dog Experience presented by Riddleberger Brothers Incorporated. To register for the VIP experience, visit jmusports.com/topdog. Well, Davis Cheeks and the Phoenix of Elon back out on the field. We'll see how this play rolls out for Cheek, and then we'll head down to the sideline for another Ergie's Cheesesteak Report with Corey Spector. Here's the snap to Cheek, rolls to his right. Looking, now he's going to run up the middle, and a wave of purple comes in. Let's go down to the field level now with Corey Spector. Corey?
Well, it's well documented, Kurt, that Davis Cheek and Kurt Cignetti were a tandem together at Elon. He actually wasn't recruited, though, by Cignetti. Rich Skrosky was the former Phoenix head coach that brought Davis Cheek in. So Cheek didn't necessarily know back in 2017 what his future would hold. So eventually Cignetti places a phone call to Cheek while Cheek is at church. And so he left the church proceedings, took the phone call from Cignetti, who told him that he wants him to be a big part of this program moving forward and that he had an opportunity to compete for the starting job as a freshman, which he eventually won midway through his freshman year in 2017. You fast forward to 2018, Cignetti and Cheek come to James Madison. They beat the number 2 Dukes, the first top 5 victory ever all time for Elon. The two so complimentary of each other. Davis Cheek saying that Kurt Cignetti is all about football, all about winning, and he pours all of his attention into those two categories.
All right, thank you very much, Corey. And for the Phoenix, they have a third down situation. The Dukes among the best in the country, number 2 in the country on third down, allowing only 21.5%. This flares out as nobody out here to cover, and it is a first down and more yardage for the Phoenix, and eventually brought down. Kidd comes in to make the tackle as rambling out of the backfield it is Thomas.
Cheek was so productive last week. You mentioned 27 of 31. He had a hand in all 3 of Elon's touchdowns in their win over New Hampshire. His percentage throwing the ball was 87% completion, 4th best single in the FCS this season.
Thomas again, the ball carrier, picks up a gain of 3 on that, we'll say, and Chuck Winicki comes in to make the tackle for James Madison. Chris, really an emerging star on this defensive unit for JMU. And Cheek, they went with the tempo before setting up this 2nd down and 7 play. Cheek surveying the JMU defense and a false start.
Wow, that's 3 penalties against Elon. They're very fortunate.
Number 72, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That the first 2, which were both offsides inside the 1-yard line, didn't hurt them. It effectively gave James Madison 2 extra shots at scoring, but they couldn't get in. So great defensive stand for the Phoenix. But that false start certainly hurts them. Now you got 2nd down and about 12.
You look at the JMU starting defensive alignment. Also, it's good to see MJ Hampton returning from a early season injury. This pass is incomplete as the receiver turned one way initially, and Cheek turned it to the outside. He was going to the outside shoulder, but no shoulder to be had.
A key in this game will be the pressure that James Madison can get on Cheek. If you can force him into pressure, that's not saying he can't do things with his feet, but you got to put some pressure on him, because if you give him time to find a receiver, then he'll find one, and that's where he can do most of his damage.
He'll put 4 in the pattern off of this play. The snap, protection, lofts it over the top, and he's got a man over the top, heading for the end zone, and it is a touchdown for the Phoenix of Elon. Hauling it in is Bryson Daughtry, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Phoenix are a extra point away from tying this one up.
Yeah, Daughtry had a big one last week against New Hampshire. Gets behind the defender on this play, and again, he's got time to throw it, but this was charged against the secondary, and we talked about another key to this game, how JMU's secondary can perform against this guy who's just a prolific quarterback, and their receivers who are excellent.
Well, it ended up being a couple of safeties trying to track him down, and here comes the extra point try by Jeff Yerk. And that is through there for the extra point. 7-7, 3:21 to go in the first quarter of play.
Looked at JMU's defense last week at Delaware. It was suffocating. 107 yards total for the Blue Hens and just 25 in the second half. That's remarkable. But already today you can see what a difference this quarterback has made in total yardage for this game so far.
You saw that scoring drive summary. 6 plays, 75 yards, took 232. And they went down the length of the field to get the touchdown pass. Cheek putting it over the top to Daughtry, who pulls in his 5th touchdown of the season. There is Coach Tony Trisciani in his season here with the Phoenix of Elon.
Took over after Signetti left to come to JMU.
This is actually his 3rd season with the Phoenix, just like it is the 3rd season with Signetti with James Madison. Van Horst will receive it at the 6, same location he got the opening kickoff of today's ball game. Right up the seam, didn't get quite the recovery or the return that he did the first time up, as Van Horst is brought down at the 23-yard line as Jaden Dennis brings him down. So the Dukes take over at the 23-yard line.
These are the situations where Signetti likes to take a shot down the field. But they moved the ball so perfectly on that last drive, mixing it up with the run and the pass.
He's going to flare it out this time. This is Thornton. Doesn't pick up the yardage they thought they would get out of that, I don't believe, as only a gain of a couple of yards up to the 25-yard line.
Cole Coleman came up and made a terrific defensive play. Just barely tripped him up.
So 2nd down and 8 at the 25. Dukes have grouped up their receivers here to the near side. The trio. Now in motion goes Wells. The handoff, though, and that is to Van Horst, who spun around and tackled after just a gain of 1. Devontae Chandler, the leading tackler for the Phoenix, the redshirt senior from Dumfries, Virginia, went to C.D. Hilton.
Obvious passing situation now for Cignetti and the Dukes with 3rd and long.
3rd down, 7.
3rd and 7 situation for James Madison. 3 here to the near side. Wells is to the top. Palmer in the backfield with Cole. Stepping back, throwing, and this is hauled in. That is Devin Ravenel. Ravenel with the reception and the first down, and Ergie's cheesesteak first down for JMU.
Well, he sprinted across the middle of that field to get himself open, and again, watch the pass. Look at that, right on the money, right there where the receiver can catch it. Up around his chest, on the run. Excellent play.
Ravenel with his first catch of the season. Again, he started the year banged up quite a bit, but he comes across with the first down catch. And here's Cole Johnson, fakes, and he'll run it. Picks up a good yardage on first down to the inside Phoenix territory to the 46.
Yeah, I think he was looking to pass, make a quick pass to the outside. You'll see him look over there. And then he realized those guys were covered, and he just took the ball and tucked it under and ran with it.
Trey Allsbrook eventually catches up to Johnson. Palmer remains in the backfield. Again, Stanley Hubbard snapping the football this weekend for James Madison, a transfer from UConn. Cole going over the top, looking over to Wells. Wells makes the catch in stride inside the red zone, and they mark him at the 11-yard line.
What a fabulous throw and catch. It just doesn't get any better than that. The catch, you could see him look back for the ball the entire way. He was completely focused. Great block there to give Johnson a chance to throw this ball. And again, right on the money. You couldn't ask for a better pass.
Dukes are going tempo. They hand it off to Palmer. I thought I heard a whistle earlier.
And you do have the referee who's waving his arms. I'm not sure what the call is. I think somebody called a timeout.
Prior to the play, Elon has called their first charge timeout to review the previous play of a completed pass.
Okay,
all right, so they're challenging to see if he got a foot in bounds. Both the referees or the officials on the far sideline indicated that it was a good completion. But obviously Trisciani thinks, hey, he may not have gotten that 1 foot down, and the question will be, A, can replay show whether he got it or not? And 2, will it be enough to overturn the call, which was a good reception?
And we're going to see.
Tough to tell from that angle. Looked like the foot was in there. But again, this will give you a little better indication.
Yeah, I think the higher angle is better. Yeah, that foot's down.
Yeah,
that first one is.
The first one was down. It appeared as he had possession of the ball. The left one stepped on the line, but you only need the one.
They are reviewing. Our replay official today is Kevin Edwards, and the crew working this afternoon's CAA contest. Again, a big day in the Colonial. We'll keep an eye on Villanova and William and Mary. There's the crew working today's contest here in Harrisonburg. Matt Overton, your referee.
Well, again, you have to be impressed. I have been, Kurt, with the Madison offensive line, which has given Cole Johnson just enough time to do what he needs to do. Here's another look. Yeah, that right foot is down. The question is, does he have possession? And I think it's going to be difficult to overturn this call if you're the replay guys. But again, the offensive line has done a terrific job for him against a good defensive front for Elon.
See what the official has to say here.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It's a completed pass. Elon is charged a timeout. They have no remaining challenges left. Please reset the game clock to 30 seconds.
So the Dukes will get 4 more seconds to work with should they need it. But they've got a first down at the 11. And the small business game changer is back and better than ever. Enter your business to win a $20,000 marketing package with JMU Athletics and Appeal Production. Visit jmusports.com/game changer. All right, so first and 10 for the Dukes. They're once again starting a series of down at the 11-yard line. They've played a lot in Elon territory. Only the 7 points to show for it. This is the third possession. This is Palmer, runs into his own man, and then bumps to the left side and only picks his way for just a couple of yards.
It looked like he had a hole early, but as you said, he hit his own man and bounced off of him, and by that time the gaps closed up as Elon did a nice job to bring him down.
Nick Kidwell is who he hit in the back there. Kidwell making his 34th appearance for the Dukes as they start to mature this offensive line. And that'll be it for the first quarter of play as 000 show up on the video board here at James Madison University. Well, most of the play for the Dukes has been in Elon territory, but the Phoenix get a couple of big plays off the arm of Davis Cheek. And we are tied at 7-7 through 1. You're watching Colonial Athletic Association and JMU football, presented to you by Clearfield.
Hey, Harrisonburg, say goodbye to slow download speeds and broken internet connections. Get the internet you deserve with Glo Fiber, a proud supporter of the JMU Dukes. Glo Fiber is here and offers simple, straightforward internet service. No gimmicks, no contracts, no hidden pricing, just incredibly fast, reliable service at a fair price. Let your internet service be a bright spot in your day. Visit glofiber.com and see about your availability. Glo Fiber, brought to you by Chantel.
Maybe you're considering video as part of your 2020 marketing campaign. It could be over green screen so you could be anywhere in the world. Ooh la la. Or you could be outside of your office enjoying a beautiful day. Or maybe you need a little drone action. Maybe your business is a little more animated. Let us stretch your imagination to create appeal.
Tea is something to discover. You can't be impatient. When I craft pure leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts. I fine-tune the blend according to what comes from nature. I want people to experience the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. That's why I taste and taste until I craft a smooth, delicious iced tea. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Bojangles is the official tailgate partner of JMU Athletics. Don't forget to pick up your Big Bow box and cheer on the Dukes. It is bow time. Time for the second quarter here at Bridgeforth Stadium. The CAA matchup between the Phoenix and the Dukes. JMU deep into Elon territory and faced with a second down and about 8 just inside the 10-yard line. Cole Johnson, couple of claps showing blitz. Now the ends will back off. Johnson time, and he finds coming out of the backfield. That is Van Horst picks up the picks up the reception and is knocked down inside the 5.
Yeah, they give him forward progress to about the 4.
Van Horst, if you look at all the running backs, at least from my perspective, the most confident of receiving of the group. Trayvon Jones eventually brought him down there, but Latrell Palmer is becoming a little bit more engaged in that aspect. The Dukes will send a grouping to the right, and Wells alone here to the left. Van Horst goes to the right as well, looking that way, and Johnson eludes, throws into the end zone, all alone, touchdown, James Madison University. Reggie Brown, his second touchdown as a Duke, and the Dukes reclaim the lead.
Cole Johnson made that play, maybe taking a page out of Davis Cheek's playbook, but Johnson can maneuver as well, and he did that time to avoid the sack and find the wide open receiver. Heads up play.
And he finds Brown coming across the back of the end zone. So Radke, who is 28 out of 29 on extra points this season, 204 out of 208 in his career, will try to add just another to his tremendous career. And the Dukes do get the extra point, and they're back up by 7. So a couple of red zone scores after a not so good start for the Dukes, but they do have the lead here, 14-7. We'll be back to Bridgeport Stadium in just a moment. JMU football presented to you by Learfield.
Are you new to the area, hoping to make Harrisonburg or Rockingham County home for the first time? Or are you a longtime resident looking to move or find a more suitable rental home? Look no further. Let Reiner Rentals help make the search for your dream home simple and enjoyable. Whether you're looking for a single-family home, townhouse, duplex, condo, or downtown loft, let us help you find the perfect home with personalized service and local area knowledge. Because at Reiner Rentals, it's not just a rental, it's home.
Toyota was named the best resale value brand by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com for 2021, with 5 models named best in class, including Camry, best midsize car, Sienna, best minivan, RAV4 Hybrid, best hybrid car, Tacoma, best midsize pickup truck, and Tundra, best full-size pickup truck. For the best in value, there's only one place to go: Toyota. Let's go places.
Pepsi is a proud partner of JMU Athletics and the official beverage provider of JMU. Dukes up 14-7. Second touchdown pass for Cole Johnson this afternoon. This time it goes to Brown, his second as a Duke. Camden Wise will kick it off, and a fair catch again called for at the 11-yard line. So
you're right. Phoenix, they don't return many.
They don't return very many.
And you would think, perhaps scouting James Madison and knowing that they have difficulty getting the ball in the end zone on kickoffs, that they might try to bring a couple back.
Keys to the game presented to you by Cross Keys Vineyards for the Phoenix of Elon. Fast start. This is the first week in 3 that they have not scored on their first possession. So, and of course, their first possession started because of great defense.
Right.
Coach Trisciani is very pleased with the way his team has responded to momentum changes this year. Usually when it's an adverse momentum change, he's very pleased about that. And they do pass the ball a lot, as you see here, as there's the sidearm reception. But even though they throw the ball a lot, they generally have an upper hand in time of possession in ball games, which that doesn't always happen when you throw the ball around a lot as they do.
True, but sometimes it does happen when you make completions.
That's true, yeah.
And last week, Cheek had 27 of them in 31 attempts and an 87% pass completion percentage.
First down for the Phoenix. That is their third, and that ends up incomplete.
Yeah, that's a really good defensive play by Ross, who timed his jump and got in there to knock that play away.
Greg Ross, the transfer for the Dukes from the University of North Carolina, making his 15th appearance for James Madison. Ross with 3 interceptions to lead the Dukes in that category this year. Second down and 10 at the 43. And the lineman moved again. We get another false start.
Yeah, it looked like Gilbert.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
As Zane Gilbert came up a little bit early. Boy, they've had some struggles with penalties both on the offensive and the defensive lines.
And that is the fourth penalty, but it's only for a combined 12 yards because of those 2 that were
right,
for an
they
inch.
were inside the 1.
Yes.
So you had 2 offsides and 2 false starts so far.
That makes it a second down and 15. Now they bring into the backfield Witherspoon, McKinley Witherspoon. First time we see him in the backfield, and time is called, I believe, by the Phoenix.
They took a timeout.
Elon.
So they're seeing some things that
30-second timeout
are confusing them a little bit with James Madison's defense, and they haven't gone to the run all that often, and rightly so, as good as Cheek has been. CAA Player of the Week this week. It's the second time in a row.
So just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here for you.
Madison obviously had the Special Teams Player of the Week with Ethan Radke.
Back-to-back weeks.
Yep. 5 field goals last week. Really sensational showing that tied a CAA record and was a JMU single game record.
And they were not easy field goals either. He had 2 47-yarders. There's Corey Heatherman, the defensive coordinator for James Madison, associate head coach as well. Saw him patrolling the sidelines. Here comes some. The Dukes got away with maybe a potential late hit as I watch that play continue on, but it is a completion for about 7, maybe 8 yards, and brings up a much more manageable third down, although still third and long. Wow, they're giving him a couple of extra yards at the end of that.
Forward progress, I think, on the catch, and that's Jackson Parham, who had 6 of them last week for 122 yards. That's a career high for him. He's got 607 on the season coming into this game, so he's been prolific, to say the least. But now a little bit more confusion on the Elon sideline as they try to get this play in on third down and about 3.
It's down to 3 seconds on the game clock, or the play clock.
They got to take another timeout.
Final charge timeout for Elon. Meeting timeout.
13:15 to go in the second quarter. They have no more timeouts remaining in the period.
Yeah, I mean, you wonder if that's the defense that's throwing them off or just a communication problem.
Well, we'll take a timeout with the timeout taken by the Phoenix of Elon. The Dukes leading at 14-7. Glad that you're with us here watching this afternoon's ball game, and it's all brought to you by Learfield.
These are beautiful.
Yes, your new baby is here. Now all you want is to take her for a spin. But you can't.
Stop.
Because your other baby, the human one, just opened a nail salon. No problem. CarMax delivers right to your door, so you don't have to lift a finger. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
Cross Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
At Excel Heating and Cooling, we know you spend a lot of time in your home, maybe more than before. Being comfortable is something you forget about until it becomes a problem. We want you to be comfortable. Get your heating and cooling system tune-up for only $79. We'll make sure your system is keeping you cozy. If there's an issue, we've got solutions like the Excel Comfort Series heat pumps and furnaces. Excel Heating and Cooling. Comfort by design.
Virginia Business Systems has been solving our customers' most challenging business problems for over 65 years. With best-in-class office productivity solutions from Konica Minolta, HP, Xerox, and Lexmark, Virginia Business Systems provides fast-forward office technology that saves time and money for your business. Call or visit our website today and see how VBS can help your company grow through superior technology and service.
Well, anytime the JMU Dukes create a sack, it's a sack to give back. Food Lion Feeds donates another 1,000 meals to feed our neighbors in need here in the Harrisonburg area. Keep cheering on the Sacks to help us give back. Well, it's tough sometimes to sack Mr. Cheek. In fact, the last time they played here in Harrisonburg, he was only sacked one time, and there he does his magic. Did he control the football going out of bounds?
They're calling it a good catch, but this will be interesting to see if Cignetti maybe wants to challenge this, because it looked like he was bobbling the ball as he went out of bounds. And again, here's a quick look at it.
That's Daughtry again, who came up with the touchdown earlier. We're going to go back to the live action, folks, and into the backfield. He's not going anywhere this time as the purple just got inside. It's Kelvin Azanama and Mike Green combining there, and Mike led the way.
Yeah, here's another look at this pass to see. Well, that ball comes loose. I don't know if he ever had control of it, but it's moot because, well, maybe he did. But again, he didn't carry it all the way through when he went out of bounds, and it's moot because they got to the line of scrimmage so quickly, Madison had no chance to challenge.
A tackle for loss for Mike Green on the defensive line. Second down, and that's 12. Cheek looking here to the near side. And the pass is pulled in by your running back, and he's forced out of bounds there by Azanama.
Witherspoon with a nice reception out of the backfield.
So the one thing about Cheek is that he does a really good job of buying a second or two, and he's got very presence of mind about where all of his outlets are, and he doesn't get greedy.
Yeah, he's very poised.
I mean, he'll take that, okay, you're going to give us these 3 or 4, let's go ahead and do it, and we'll come back and try to make a bigger play following up. So a third down situation. They are 3 out of 4 on third down conversions. Again, the Dukes number 2 in the country, only behind Yale in that category. Cheek, pressure up the middle, and they're coming across the seam, and it is pulled in for the first down. Hauling that football in is Donovan Williams, the tight end.
Yeah, again, poise, gets good protection, and you can see how strong his arm is. Again, Curt Cignetti saying that he reminded him of Phillip Rivers, who he coached at NC State.
Looks left, comes right, gets hit as he throws, and it's way over here, well out of bounds.
Yeah, he had a couple of receivers open, and it's fortunate that Madison was able to tip that ball when it came off his hand.
Sets up a 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line. 11:19 to go in this opening half of play. Dukes up 14-7. Couple of touchdown tosses from Cole Johnson. Witherspoon shifts over to the left. He takes the handoff, cuts to the right, finds a seam. Now he's into the second level, and he is knocked down at the 15. And here comes a late flag, and this might be a tough call against James Madison. Little concern here for the defensive unit.
Yeah, it's they're going to go look at targeting on MJ Hampton, and if they deem that it is targeting, he'll be out of the game.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 32. Previous play is under further review.
So they'll take a look at this quite obviously as they need to. There's MJ Hampton. Hampton starting the year with a lower body injury and was just working in back into the lineup. He's one of those players that Curt Cignetti said recently that has made a big impact, particularly first back on special teams and then back there in the secondary. But here are the replays for you, and you can kind of judge for yourself with that hit right there.
Yeah, I mean, again, with these calls, it almost doesn't matter whether your head is up or down. If you make contact lunging with the head and you hit the ball carrier's helmet just like that, you're going to be gone. And so M.J. Hampton is going to be kicked out of the game, which is unfortunate for James Madison. He's already on the sideline with his hat off, and he knows what has happened. It's what is going to be forthcoming. And that's the difficult thing, Kurt. You want your guys to be aggressive, but you want them to play smart. There's discipline that needs to come in there, and it's tough to do when you're out there running full steam. But you got to play smart in this day and age of football, which means you can't be lunging at guys with your head.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Number 32 is disqualified. Personal foul penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
You know that it breaks that young man's heart because he's a heck of a football player. But these plays now have become learning experiences for these guys. They're seeing this happen time and time again, game after game, and they simply have to adapt and understand that you just can't lunge at somebody. And it's very difficult to do. I say it. It's easier said than done. When you're going full speed at somebody, in a game of football, you're taught to make contact. And so it's a very tough call.
Elon starting in the red zone now. The Dukes have only seen opponents in the red zone 10 times now. They lead the country in keeping folks out of the red zone. They had only allowed 9 penetrations thus far this season, which I think is a pretty good testament to the way the defense has been.
Yeah, they've been smothering. We know that, whether it's in the red zone or just on the field. Said last week they held Delaware to 25 yards total offense in the second half. That's remarkable.
Cheek with Witherspoon in the backfield. They'll shift over, power to the right now. And looking over the top, and that is caught. What a great reception. Pulling that out of the air was Cortez Weeks.
Yeah, Kelvin Azanama never looked back at the football. He didn't have a chance to make a play on that. He was just trying to guard the guy all the way through into the end zone, and he never turned around to look back, and it was an easy catch.
So your holder is Jeff Yerk.
Talked about how good Cole Johnson has been. Davis Cheek right on the money with his passes as well. He's been outstanding.
Skylar Davis with the point after. He zips it on through, and once again we're tied at 14 apiece. So the Dukes scoring first. Elon answering the bell. The Dukes take a 14-7 lead, and Elon does once again. And our scoring drive summary, 11 plays, 75 yards, 409. And that ends up a 3-yard pass play for the touchdown to tie. 10-17 remaining in the first half.
Dukes 2-1 at home this year, had their 17-game home win streak snapped in the loss to Villanova. And as we said, the last loss at home prior to the Villanova defeat was to this Elon team back in 2018, 27-24, when Curt Cignetti was the head coach of the Phoenix.
Yerk will kick off. Dukes will switch it up here with Van Horst here to the near side. Sam Alignaggi on the far hash from our vantage point.
Yeah, unlike Elon, JMU will return these kicks, especially if they don't reach the goal line.
This is going to end up probably bouncing out of bounds, and the Dukes will get even better field position.
Yeah, tremendous field position again for James Madison. That's
free kick out of bounds. Kicking team. Ball will be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
That's 3 possessions in this half where they've started 35-yard line or better.
Here's your scoring drive summary.
Well, between quarters, there was a great standing ovation here at Bridgeport Stadium as the university was recognizing the College World Series team, the Women's College World Series softball Dukes. What a tremendous, fabulous run they had this past summer. as they are here among other teams being recognized today. But it was a roar from the crowd here between quarters. Pass is caught by Wells as he's a little more active today as he pulls this in, is whirled out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that softball team grabbed the attention of the entire nation. Of course, the publicity on ESPN was spectacular, but they didn't disappoint, and Odyssey became the darling of the country, and tremendous publicity for this school at a time when they're about to make the move up to the FBS.
It certainly did give the Dukes a lot of exposure there. Here is Cole Johnson. Plenty time. Ball lofts out of his hand, and he's got a man wide open into the end zone. It is Thornton, and the Dukes recapture the lead. Well, Cole is tossing it pretty darn good today.
Wow, he is having just a sensational day. His passes, like Davis Cheeks, have been right on the money. And finding a wide open receiver, again, props to the offensive line for giving him time to find his receiver. Look at him. He's got all day to throw, nobody near him, and that pass is perfect.
That's his 5th touchdown reception of the season. A quick drive of 2 plays, 65 yards, and Ratke comes in to knock down another extra point, that is, for James Madison.
Snap a little high, but they got it down, and he put it through.
Well, that unit has worked a long time together. Kyle Davis, the snapper, Alex Miller, the holder, and Ratke putting it through the uprights. Dukes back out in front by 7 once again. JMU football presented to you from Learfield. Everyone to Bridgeport Stadium. The Dukes leading at 21-14. A 59-yard touchdown strike to Chris Thornton from Cole Johnson, his 3rd aerial for a TD this afternoon, as he is moving up the all-time charts at JMU, as Cole Johnson just tied Rodney Landers with his 35th career touchdown toss. They tried to return this one.
Yeah, maybe they figured it out that the Dukes have a tough time getting the ball in the end zone on a kickoff, so let's try to bring one back. But that time, excellent special teams coverage by James Madison.
Well, the Dukes' defensive line has certainly been a stalwart for the Dukes this year, and some names we are starting to learn a little bit more about. And let's send it down to field level with our Ergie's Cheesesteak sideline report with Corey Spector. Corey?
Yeah, Kurt, Tony Thurston is a big member of that defensive line. He recorded 2 sacks a couple of weeks ago against Richmond, his first 2 career sacks. Now, he and his father, Tony Jr., always watch film, and Tony Jr. still had criticism for him. But Tony Thurston is such an interesting guy. You go back to a couple of years ago, he was sporting long hair, Kurt. You probably remember that. Now, though, he has very short hair, and he cut it just before training camp. He said he just needed a little bit of a change and wanted to see what people thought. Some teammates like it, some teammates wish he still had long hair. The other fascinating thing about Thurston, he's a big-time natural artist who's a big tattooer, and he's actually drawn his own tattoos on his own body. Pretty fascinating dude.
Wow.
And he wears the short shorts to show them off.
There you go. Some of that's got to be pretty tough, I would imagine, to do that. That's a lot of patience to begin with. Cheek hands this football off, and that is Thomas, the ball carrier, as he is met just before he gets to the 25-yard line.
You could see even on the previous play, Kurt, how poised Davis Cheek is. He was flushed. He had to run out of the pocket, and he still found a receiver, albeit just for a few yards. But that guy really knows what he's doing out on the field.
Also see out there now Josh Surratt, the transfer from VMI. Of course, the Dukes on the last defensive series lost the services of MJ Hampton on the targeting call. Third down for the Phoenix. They're at the 25-yard line. Likes taking an effect here in this afternoon's coverage. And that is intercepted for the James Madison Dukes, trying to return it for the touchdown. He won't make it in as Torres Carroll comes up with the pick.
Well, there had to be a miscommunication there, Kurt, because Davis Cheek threw that ball short and right into the hands of the defender who was standing there all by himself. Again, had to be some miscommunication with his receiver.
He had to be as surprised as anybody with that interception, because he was just standing out there in that section of defensive zone and makes the catch. And for Torres Carroll, his second interception of the season. He had one, I believe it was in the season opener. That gives him 4 in his career. And the Dukes first and goal at the 8-yard line.
I mean, the intended receiver was 5 yards further up the field. So maybe he didn't break it off the way Cheek thought he would, but that pass was way short.
Johnson with Palmer. He hands it off to Palmer. Palmer going to the outside, finds a little bit of a seam and is dragged down from behind as Devontae Chandler gets to him.
Excuse me, Kurt. He was waiting for a hole to develop, but none there. Elon's defensive line closed it up pretty quickly.
I want to make a correction earlier. I said Chandler gave the wrong hometown. He's from Chester, Virginia, went to Thomas Dale High School. Had a sack against New Hampshire last weekend. Second down and goal for JMU as some quick exchange on the defensive end for the Phoenix. Like some rush coming off the edge. Johnson's going to loft it out here. It's Wells to the back shoulder, turns. He grabs it. Yes, touchdown, James Madison University.
Wow, what a throw, but a tremendous catch by Wells. As you said, he had to turn around and make the reception and hang on to it. That was just fabulous.
Wells, who suffered a ankle injury at Weber State, was a little slow to get back into it, and that he had gone without a touchdown for 4 straight games, so that breaks that streak back into the end zone.
You know, I talked about how one of the keys was going to be how well James Madison's secondary was able to defense Davis Cheek and how good he is. Turning out so far that the key now is the Elon secondary and how they are
is under further review.
How they are able to defense Cole Johnson here this afternoon, who's been just absolutely pinpoint. They're taking another look at this to make sure that he had possession and he had a foot in bounds.
You know, it's interesting too. Let's go back to that first series, Steve. Something to kind of chat a little bit about. You know, they did rush the ball on countless occasions
6 straight
there at the end
times
and did not. Well, you counted them. Good, thank you. So they've. Not that they've scrapped the running game, but they have found this to be successful. The passing game off the arm of Cole Johnson, the number of weapons he has out there. He's he's spreading the wealth here today.
Yep.
And he's got the Dukes up by 2 scores for the first time this afternoon.
And Cignetti is still trying to mix it up a little bit with some runs with Latrell Palmer, although they haven't been able to get much yardage, and a credit to the Elon defense for that. But you're right. They're finding receivers pretty much wide open, although that play was That play was made by Wells. That was a heck of a catch.
Well, and for Elon's defense, they have a little bit of that residual of what Villanova did with the 3-down lineman, too, because the defensive coordinator came from Villanova. So has inserted that. Now, the 3-down lineman has evolved a little bit. It's not quite this. It was kind of cookie cutter for a while, so they've gotten a lot more exotic with those 3-down linemen.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
My whole point about that is that sometimes it gives an offense fits for quite a while, and once they figured it out, and maybe playing Villanova a couple of weeks ago, they understand this defensive scheme a little better. So Johnson having a tremendous day, and Ratke will try to give the Dukes the 14-point lead, and he does so.
Well, we are seeing an aerial display here this afternoon that looks more like the Blue Angels. It's been fantastic to watch.
A 21-point second quarter for James Madison. Johnson, 14 out of 15, 224 yards,
wow,
4 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating of 306.
Yeah, he is having a career day so far. Now, there's a whole rest of this quarter and another half to be played, but 14 of 15 and that yardage in one half, so far, not even a half so far, is really remarkable.
You know, and Johnson last week actually had his poorest throwing game since playing Elon last year. He was 50% from the field as far as throwing is concerned.
Yep.
And didn't have the yardage, 119 yards.
Yeah, and he wasn't sharp at all. Looks like a totally different guy here this afternoon.
And it's curious. You made the same observation I did in watching the game, is that everything from Cole was sailing high last week.
Mm-hmm.
But that has been accounted for. And they'll try to return it again, and still no coverage as the Dukes are back there. And it's Jalen Walker. These are some names. Walker is one of those guys. We're going to see these guys eventually with regularity at playing defense for James Madison, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, and that was a really nice play by Walker. He came up and made a hard hit to tackle the receiver, the kickoff man.
Another name I'll throw out there for you is Kyle Holmes, who has been very good on kick return coverage. So just a couple of guys that starting to assert themselves on special teams and ultimately will be probably regulars. As Cheeks escapes a pocket that was collapsing. Look how elusive he is. And it finally takes Coleclaw to get him out of bounds as he tracks him down. But Davis still makes something out of that play.
Yeah, you can see why Signetti at the time likened him to a Phillip Rivers, the way he is able to do something with his feet, the poise he has, the scrambling ability, and the strong throwing arm. So let's see, if Elon, this is the test now for JMU's secondary, because he's going to try to open things up now to get back in this game.
He brings Witherspoon back into the backfield with him. There's a strength here to the right. But Witherspoon's going to find a little bit of a seam, and Devontae Tucker Dorsey comes in and brings him down ultimately. Yep, Devontae out of Lake Taylor High School in Norfolk, Virginia, has a younger brother that's coming here to play for the Dukes.
Made by Tucker Dorsey.
And there is Thurston in the middle of it all for James Madison.
3rd and short. Again, you figure this is a real opportunity for...
Deep in the backfield, he receives it, and he is dropped shy of the first down. That was Chuck Winicki from the secondary coming in to make the stop.
I was about to say a real opportunity for a play fake and then a shot down the field, but they tried to run the ball, and there's that smothering JMU defensive line. Boy, what a hit.
And that makes Corey Heatherman very happy as a defensive coordinator for James Madison. Takes care of the defensive line as well. So 4th down, and we'll see our first punt. Jeff Yerk will punt it away. Actually, it's his second punt of the afternoon. Again, he replaced Hunter Stevenson, who averaged 41 yards per punt in the past for Elon. Anything over 40 is certainly pretty good at the collegiate ranks.
Mm-hmm. And again, the Dukes at their own 39 will have some real good starting field position here for this drive. Signetti has found lots of success through the air so far, but trying to mix it up with the run. Let's see what he does here with 5:21 to play in the half.
Virginia 529 is the official college savings plan of JMU Athletics. First and 10 for the Dukes at the 39. They have all of their timeouts remaining. 5:21 to go in the half. And a little hesitation this time. It's Lorenzo Bryant back in the lineup. This is the first time we've seen him carry the football since the opening series. Well, Duke's capitalizing the last time on a very short field because of the interception for Torres Carroll. And now that the Dukes have finally broken the ice on the plane of the goal here, they've done it 4 times here this afternoon. And maybe all that is behind them. Liam Fernando, you see him stand up. Again, he's in his first action since the opener against Morehead State. Johnson, plenty of time, fires this to a tight end. And that is caught and brought in by Drew Painter. And Painter comes down limping.
Yeah, he got tangled up, and he's got to limp off the field, but made a nice catch because the defender was right there to try to knock it away. Good grab here.
Painter 6'3", 245 pounds out of Hershey, Pennsylvania, where everything smells like chocolate.
It does. The lampposts look like kisses.
Here's Cheatham coming to the near side. Trio on this side. Johnson out there, one-on-one coverage. This is Brown. Brown wrapped up and thrown down.
Nice gain on the play, though.
Shamari Wingard in on the stop, and that brings up a second down situation. 4 minutes about to go to that mark, and we do. Palmer in the backfield.
See if he takes a shot here on second and short.
It is Palmer, the ball carrier. He's got a first down. He stays on his feet and keeps driving forward for the first down for James Madison.
Again, you look at that guy. I've been so impressed this season with Latrell Palmer. He's so strong. You look at him from the waist down, and his legs are just thunderous. It's where all of his strength comes from.
He is one of those that when he gets hit, he gives the hit more time than he takes the hit.
And usually gets something out of it, falls forward instead of backwards.
6-footer, 220 pounds, gets the next carry. This time he nearly breaks the tackle, but they get him by the ankles.
Again, you could see how strong he is trying to break the tackle and pull defenders with him.
Palmer with his eighth carry this afternoon has a long of only 6, but he has been bruising inside.
Here's Painter getting looked at on the sideline after limping off the field.
Thornton to the top side on the coverage, here to the near side, very wide. It is Wells. Duke shift the power to the right side, and Palmer again finds a bit of a seam. Good patience for Palmer. Backs his way towards the line to gain.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with JMU's offensive line. They have done a terrific job, not only pass protecting, but trying to open those holes. And I can see what Signetti's doing. He probably did this on the down by the goal line. He feels like they're going to break one of those. One of those is going to be open. There's going to be a hole for Palmer or whoever happens to be the running back, and he's sticking with that. And with the lead right now, why not?
That's an Ergie's cheesesteak first down. That's the 13th of the, make that number 14, that is, for the Dukes. Long count for Johnson. Backs up. Looks downfield and throws it underneath to Palmer. Palmer coming out of the backfield eludes the first tackler, and it takes 2 to get him out of bounds on the far side. I don't think he went out of bounds. The clock may continue to run here. Devontae Chandler does catch up with him.
Doing a nice job of hanging onto the football. You can see the Elon defenders trying to strip that ball out of his hands.
Second down and 2. Now this Elon team, it's down by 14. They have overcome some double-digit deficits to go on to win this season. 2 out of 3 times, in fact, this year. Another one they overcame, but then eventually lost. Cole flares it out here. This is Wells. Wells takes it inside the 10. His forward momentum at the 9-yard line. He did stay in bounds, so clock will continue to roll.
Yeah, they'll stop it to bring the chains up for the first down, but now it'll be it's going to be first and goal now.
Dylan Tucker is there defensively for the Phoenix of Elon. First and goal for the Dukes at the 9. We've said that quite a bit here in this first half for James Madison. They'll tighten things up. Ravenel and Wells looking that way. Johnson rolls out, now throws it. Here goes a flag, and this might be holding against James Madison. Guessing, Steve, where the flag was thrown.
Yep, that's going to bring them back 10. And still be first and goal, but
Holding. Offense. Number 77. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
That's Liam Fernadel, and that's only the second penalty against James Madison this afternoon.
Yeah, other than the false starts and the offsides for Elon, it's been a fairly clean game. And, of course, you had the targeting, which sent M.J. Hampton to the showers.
So that means it's a first and goal from the 18.
First and goal for JMU on the Elon 18-yard line.
And Reggie Brown just inside the marker on the far side at the 20. Dumps it underneath. He's got some blockers, and that was Bryant pulling it in.
Yeah, I really like the call because Signetti and his crew anticipating the blitz.
James Madison.
And now the Dukes take a timeout.
Coming up at halftime, Steve and I will talk a little bit about this first half, but also joining us here in the booth will be Sean O'Regan, head coach of the JMU women's basketball Dukes. The season about to start for both the men and the women, not next week, but the week following. Back-to-back nights at the Atlantic Union Bank Center. Steve, you and I have chatted. You're going to be back to do a number of games with us, including...
especially that weekend, looking forward to it. I think on the 19th, the Dukes host George Mason here.
Yeah.
And then the very next day, they play, Towson?
Yeah.
That'll be a great weekend for all JMU fans.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting you over at the Atlantic Union Bank Center, which a lot of fans will get a chance to see. But we'll have Sean in to talk a little bit about his team. They've been picked to finish third this year in the CAA. Drexel and Delaware share the poll's top spot after this week's release from the Colonial Athletic Association. Second down for JMU and goal. High snap, but Cole controls it. Looking and coming up over the middle again is Thornton, and he
really had nowhere to go.
He didn't, no.
But again, good protection for Cole Johnson, and at some point you feel like Elon's going to break through there and get him, but he's been able to avoid the pass rushers, and he's been able to get some time to find receivers, but that time just short yardage. So now you got third and goal from the 13.
So this situation for JMU, of course, the opportunity to bring in Ethan Ratke, certainly within his range, no question about that. So looking for points here to end off this half one way or the other. And time is called again by JMU.
Prior to the flag for delay, timeout, James Madison. Second of the half, 30-second timeout.
The play clock was winding down.
Yeah, this is another one of these situations. We saw it in the Villanova game where you've got 55 seconds on the clock right now, and you had obviously 25 seconds went off the clock in between that last play and the timeout that was called. Now they can't get a first down, so they've got effectively 2 plays to run here. You figure fourth down would be a field goal try, but it wouldn't hurt them as badly here as that did in the Villanova game.
Here's the standings going into today's play. At last report, William & Mary was leading Villanova by a considerable margin. So what we need to happen here for JMU fans is to come up with a win here today against Elon. Elon feels the same way, though. And then if William & Mary can beat Villanova, then you see you've got all those teams with one loss. For JMU's perspective alone, Villanova has the tiebreaker by virtue of its win here. So another opportunity for the Dukes maybe. And here's an opportunity as JMU scores the touchdown. Second of the day for Mr. Wells.
And penalty flags fly down around the 34-yard line. Might be something that happened after the play. Some sort of personal foul, we don't know. But again, that pass was absolutely perfectly thrown. Let's see what the official calls here. Might have been a personal foul. Didn't see what happened after the play.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. offense, number 77. This is his first of the game. 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
Wow, how about that? That's 2 penalties on him in this drive.
Yes, and the Dukes, well, that will be enforced on the kickoff.
Yeah, I didn't see, Kurt, what happened, and I don't know if a replay would show what happened, but again, these are situations where discipline comes into play. You can't be committing unsportsmanlike conducts which can hurt your team. Now, fortunately, it happened after the play.
So a 5th touchdown toss this afternoon for Cole Johnson.
In one half. This is remarkable.
And still 30 minutes to play in this one. Ethan Radke tacks it on 35-14. And I don't know honestly what the biggest deficit Elon has faced this year, but I don't think it was 21 by the break, at least not in an FCS game.
Wonder if we could see a replay of that touchdown pass again, because the pass was really perfect, and again, right on the hands of the receiver.
So Wells has his 2nd reception for a score.
I mean, the passes just don't get any better than that. I mean, that catches him in stride, right up around the chest. It's an easy catch for him. And what a half Cole Johnson is having. It is going to end up being a career game for him if this continues.
Well, he has tied his career high with the 5 touchdown tosses. That's the way he started the season against Morehead State on September the 4th.
So now you got an opportunity for a return here for Elon.
Yeah, particularly with the short field, and they will indeed try to return this. But look at the coverage for JMU. It really didn't matter. And that was Chuck Winicki again getting back there for JMU.
Boy, great pursuit, flying down the field, and made a nice shoestring tackle.
Here's the scoring summary. 11 plays, 48 yards, 426. The Dukes got the possession following a punt. And let's total up some of Johnson's numbers now. His 5th TD of the game. That ties the school record. He has done that twice this season already. His 20th of the season and the 37th of his career. And Wells has his 7th of the season as far as on the receiving end, and his 13th as a Duke. Cheek is getting hit, but he releases the football, but the Dukes are there to cover. Wayne Davis, transfer from Ohio State, another Lake Taylor High School product, makes the tackle for James Madison.
A good play by Davis. They could see that a short pass was coming after the pressure on Cheek, and they hold him to a loss on the play. 2nd and 13.
It's interesting. Will Cheek make an adjustment here, because the Dukes are fine with those kind of plays?
They're going to go into halftime and just try to regroup.
Yeah, I mean, James Madison with the 21-point lead. You're not going to give up the big play.
And a nice round of applause from the home team fans here at Bridgeport Stadium, who appreciate not only the score, but what the Dukes have done here, and specifically Cole Johnson, who's just having a remarkable afternoon.
5 touchdown tosses in a half. That's pretty darn good.
Sang the praises coming in of Davis Cheek, who is a fabulous quarterback, but so far Cole Johnson has been outstanding.
5 touchdown tosses. The Dukes lead it by 21. We'll be back with our halftime. It's JMU football, presented to you from Learfield.
Jerry finally crossed rock climbing off his bucket list, and he has a souvenir to prove it. So how does Jerry get to the bank? He doesn't. At AtlanticUnionBank.com, Jerry can schedule a live video appointment with a knowledgeable banker, ready to help out and answer his questions, all while focusing on other important things. No shoes required. Video appointments that simplify your life. Another reason why the switch is on to Atlantic Union Bank.
Hi, Ryan Height here, General Manager of Lakeview Golf.
Voted the best in the Valley 27-hole golf course. Now offers a 9-hole par 3 course. Master your golf swing inside to out on our state-of-the-art indoor golf simulator. Practice and play a virtual round of golf from courses around the world in the comfort of a climate-controlled environment. League play starts in October. Sign up today.
Come enjoy a round at Pebble Beach. Enjoy your favorite football game. Enjoy a cold beverage. Can it get any better than that?
Cross Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
Welcome back, everyone, to Bridgeport Stadium on the campus of James Madison University. The host Dukes leading the Phoenix of Elon 35-14 here at halftime. The Dukes with 21 unanswered points. And, Steve, I think it's safe to say we had some concerns about the red zone coming in. We had some concerns about the red zone after the first possession.
Yep.
But now, thanks to the way that, Cole Johnson has lubricated this offense, man, they've got it going.
That's one way of putting it. I mean, he has been nothing short of spectacular. You look at his numbers. He's only missed one pass the entire first half. 5 touchdown passes. His yardage has been amazing. He's working on a career afternoon. And as good as Davis Cheek is, and he's a great quarterback, Cole Johnson has really shined brightly here this afternoon.
Indeed, he has. And the Dukes are mixing up just enough to keep the Elon defense certainly at bay there. And they get the pickoff from Chekwinicki. And it was a very uncharacteristic play for Cheek.
Well, I think there was a mix-up there with his receiver. His receiver was 5 yards further down the field, and that pass was so short it was obvious that he was probably looking for him to break out a little bit early, and the defender was just there wide open by himself.
And that's an asterisk play to me. That kind of pivoted this game because they were just chasing each other for a while. Mm-hmm. That gave the separation, and then the Dukes expanded the separation.
Yeah, good point. So we'll see what Elon is able to do at halftime, but right now Cole Johnson has had his way with their secondary, and again, a lot of credit to JMU's offensive line for giving him time to find his receivers.
All right, Steve, that's kind of a recap of what we saw here from the booth here at Bridgeport Stadium. The Marching Royal Dukes down on the field. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have with us Sean O'Regan to talk JMU women's basketball. The season just around the corner. That's all coming your way as JMU football is presented to you by Learfield. Well, the rain is dampening things just a little bit, but the Marching Royal Dukes are marching on. It doesn't bother them all that much. The Dukes up 35-14 at halftime here on this final Saturday in October, which means tomorrow's Halloween, and Monday is November, which means it's the start of the college basketball season. We're delighted to have Coach Sean O'Regan join us here this afternoon as we're ready for some women's college basketball. I know you're ready for a normal season. We're ready to open up this Atlantic Union Bank Center to the fans, but Sean, just how's it been going with you and your new team this year?
It's been great. First of all, thanks for having me, and if I had to watch every football game from up here, Kurt, I think I'm a little envious of this, but no, we're doing great. We're plugging away. We have a really good group of players, people, and it's been a lot of fun starting off and really preparing for more normalcy. I can't say 100% normalcy, but really it's been a very normal preseason, and we're really looking forward to having fans back in the Atlantic Union Bank Center.
You've been picked to finish third. That's fine. You know, you got a couple of preseason all-conference performers as well. But I want to talk a little bit about kind of the dynamics of this team, the chemistry, and this is interesting. You thought that last year, the way that you tried to keep the Dukes healthy actually may have hampered the chemistry for the team. Explain that, if you would.
Yeah, I thought it was a big part of it. And so what we did, we had everybody set in pods, and our understanding from the medical side of things was whoever you lived with, no matter what, if you got COVID, your roommates were now down. So we tried to keep everything separated into 4 people, 3 people, 4 people. So now if and it happened to one of our players got it, and just their house had to quarantine, we were able to play a game where a lot of other people around the country had to shut their whole team down. So that was a good thing, right? Everybody think that's a good thing. But, I mean, down to the minute in the locker room, we would have this group can change, pod 1 can change for these 5 minutes, and then pod 2 can change for these 5 minutes. And in every aspect of the whole thing. So locker room, training room, lifting weights, even the bus. You had to sit with your group on the bus. So there's none of those natural moments where, we had 8 newcomers, and don't have those natural moments where you're sitting on a bus with a senior and it's a freshman and you're talking and you strike up a conversation, or there was no team meals, stuff like that. So it really, really prohibited us from the growth process, kind of in the togetherness part of it. And so I've never been through COVID before.
Right. Who has,
so
yes.
I didn't quite know exactly the ripple effects of each decision you were making. And so I think that was a big part of us, how we struggled and how our inconsistency was. No secret we were inconsistent, I thought. But really togetherness. And we weren't our most talented team, but we were good enough. We just didn't play together. We weren't together. And so you live and you learn, but still we had some good moments.
Yeah, we hope that certainly that is different this year, as you can certainly practice as a team and everything. But before we let you go, Sean, the schedule.
Yeah.
Man, I have to. Are you sure you're okay? I mean, that schedule, if you take a look at it, that is going to be one challenging schedule for your Dukes this year.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Good.
Kurt, there's only one way I want to do this thing, and it's trying to play the best. It's given our players a lot of challenges. And we talk about it in recruiting. I want players that want to come play Maryland and West Virginia. And we just had another kid kind of give us her commitment. I can't say much, but she said, "Can we play UConn?" It's like, yeah, let's.
Let's do it.
Why are we? That's what I want to do. That's the coach I am. So for me, that's a big part of what we are. And luckily with COVID, we were able to pick up Maryland and West Virginia last year and then return this year. So yes, we have some challenges, but I like it. I think it's a good challenge for our team. And some coaches say you'll figure out where you are. Yeah, I want to figure out where we are, but I also want to come away victorious in some of these too. So
yeah, so I invite you to go to jmusports.com because it's quite the gauntlet the Dukes have this year here in Harrisonburg and abroad as well. Sean, thank you very much for joining us here. It's good to talk JMU women's basketball. Dukes open up a week from Tuesday against the Virginia Cavaliers at home. We'll be back and talk a little about the 50 seasons of JMU football when we return. JMU football presented by Learfield.
At James Madison University, investing in student athletes is investing in moments. And those student athletes push the limits, make new discoveries, win championships, and walk across the stage as graduates. For them to reach the top, they need your support. Help build today's champions, tomorrow's leaders. Join the Duke Club today. Every gift, every donor matters.
Behind every team is a great community. Door Gorilla is proud to be the official garage door provider for JMU Athletics and proud to support their community. When you need a garage door, call 540-740-DOOR and show your support for JMU this season. Go Dukes!
Are the Saturdays on your fall calendar filling up fast, but you want to see the JMU football Dukes take the field at Bridgeport Stadium? Single game tickets are on sale as the Dukes host such Colonial Athletic Association foes as the Maine Black Bears, the Villanova Wildcats, the Phoenix of Elon, and the Towson Tigers. Non-conference opponents are the Morehead State Eagles and the Campbell Camels. Call during business hours to 540-568-3853 or visit 247jmutickets.com to order your football tickets today. 35-14, our halftime score. We're celebrating 50 years of college football at James Madison University, and we'll continue with our decade-by-decade series, talking to former Dukes, JMU football alumni. In fact, there are about 200 of them in town today for a nice little tailgate and other activities around campus this weekend. I did catch up with now the head coach at Bridgewater College, just down the road, my alma mater, I might say, Scott Lim, who was the Remington Award winner as the best center in all of the country during the Duke's 2008 campaign. So he was the center for Rodney Landers. And in talking to Scott, just what do you and your crew from that era of JMU football think about when I say JMU football?
Really just a standard of excellence that I think's been reflected through the time of JMU football. And getting a chance to really look back at it and see, kind of regardless of who the head coach has been, JMU's always put themselves in a position to win, whether it's been the Yankee or the A10 or now the CAA. To hang conference titles and play in playoff appearances, and we were able to do it pretty consistently. I think that's the other thing that has gone forward, really since probably 2014, to where, Dukes fans are saving up for their playoff games. And that was something you had to do during that era as well.
Yeah. And again, going in 06, 07, 08, although we must confess, and I'm with you on this one, they were some tough tournament assignments, playoff assignments in 07 and 08, having to go to Youngstown State when the Dukes were ranked very high, as was Youngstown State. We got kind of caught in that travel warp. And then the gut-wrenching loss at Appalachian State.
Yeah, those were both tough games. And really the Youngstown one was a tale of two games, when I can remember when we scouted that group, they were really a running attack, and they came out and just threw the ball really well in that game. And not to say that it caught our defense off guard, but we just hadn't prepared probably the same way that we did to stop the run. Did an excellent job in stopping the run in that game. And then, 07, like you mentioned, Kurt, that brutal loss, lining up the field goal with just, seconds remaining, and to the eventual national champions. And that was a special App State team. People will remember that team as the one who beat Michigan that year, to start the season off. And really a game that we commanded pretty well throughout. And that was a big last drive. I mean, I think we got the ball back with somewhere around 2 minutes to go, and actually had a holding penalty on me that pushed us back a little bit further. So, Dave Stanner was a great kicker back then, and we had all the confidence in the world with him, and really needed to have App burn another timeout, to give them the ball back with the time remaining. That was the big thing that was happening right then.
Well, let's go back. Let's go to 2008 now. That was a tremendous season, just actually probably an injury shy of getting back to the national championship when Rodney Landers went down against Montana at home. But there were some really highlight moments in 08. The catch that ended the game, the Hail Mary, Bosco Williams against Villanova. It was Rodney Landers throwing it there. Also, the Scotty McGee return, the punt against Richmond was key in that year. But, the big game that season, probably the biggest regular season game ever played in the history of JMU football at Bridgeforth Stadium, was the Appalachian State comeback. Your memories about that game?
Oh, just what an empty first half it was. And when you name those three teams, Kurt, that was the 07 national champion, the 08 national champion, and the 09 national champion. And so, just three tremendous programs. But that game against Appalachian State, it's tough to say we went into the locker room down 21-0 confidently, knowing that we had the ability to come back. But, I think my clock might be a little bit wrong, but I think it was 21-14 by 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. So, it really just flipped so quickly between the kickoff return by Scotty. What a spark that, and then the very first play out after a great defensive stop by our defense. And Rodney takes it. It was a zone read. I mean, I can still remember the call. We called it 35. And, you don't forget memories like that. And, Rodney just separating and what a huge touchdown that was. And then, our defense just really, cranked down in the second half. There was a big fumble recovery I can remember from Jaron on the far side that we ripped the ball out on. And J.D. Skalinsky and Sam Daniels and and so many others, Hassan Abdul-Wahid, getting after the quarterback, and what a talented guy Armani Edwards was. I think he showed that with his pro ability later on.
Scott Lim, former center for the Dukes of James Madison, finished up in 2008, now the head coach at Bridgewater College. Thank you for joining us for that 50th anniversary interview with Coach Lim. 35-14 here at a rainy halftime. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment. It's JMU football presented by Learfield.
Jerry finally crossed rock climbing off his bucket list, and he has a souvenir to prove it. So how does Jerry get to the bank? He doesn't. At AtlanticUnionBank.com, Jerry can schedule a live video appointment with a knowledgeable banker, ready to help out and answer his questions, all while focusing on other important things. No shoes required. Video appointments that simplify your life. Another reason why the switch is on to Atlantic Union Bank.
Hi, Ryan Height here, General Manager of Lakeview Golf Club.
Voted the best in the Valley 27-hole golf course. Now offers a 9-hole par 3 course. Master your golf swing inside to out on our state-of-the-art indoor golf simulator. Practice and play a virtual round of golf from courses around the world in the comfort of a climate-controlled environment. League play starts in October. Sign up today.
Come enjoy a round at Pebble Beach. Enjoy your favorite football game. Enjoy a cold beverage. Can it get any better than that?
Cross Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
Rain continues to come down here at Bridgeforth Stadium. Dukes leading Elon 35-14. Kurt Dudley, Steve Buckhantz, Corey Spector. I want to thank Coach O'Regan for joining us there at halftime as well. Let's take a look at some scores around the Colonial Athletic Association this afternoon. Some interesting ones to say the very least here today. And William and Mary leading Villanova 31-18. That is at Villanova, which is pretty crucial there. Towson beating Albany 24-0. The only other foe there, Maine beating Rhode Island. Rhode Island has hit the skids here lately. Delaware coming off the loss to JMU last week. Dixie State out of Utah, and two former opponents for the Dukes, 28-21 leading Richmond there. So if William and Mary can hang on, the Dukes hang on here, we'll have a logjam at the top of the standings. And the Dukes have William and Mary coming up before too long as well. Take a look at some of the highlights that we have for you here from this first half as well, Steve.
Well, what a half it was for Cole Johnson. His second pass of the game was incomplete, and since then he's made 20 consecutive passes that have been completed, including 5 touchdowns to 4 different receivers. That's only the 4th time that's ever happened in JMU history. Davis Cheek, also a great quarterback, has a tremendous arm. He got going early. It was nip and tuck the entire way, as you said. But here Cole Johnson able to avoid the defender to the pass rusher and throw a completed pass. And then another touchdown as they went back and forth. And then an interception kind of sparked James Madison and got him going. And again, Johnson finding an open receiver downfield. His passes have been right on the money, and his numbers have been incredible. He's only missed 1 pass in 22 attempts.
Wise kicks off for James Madison. A fair catch called for by Braborius. He retreats back into the end zone, so out to the 25. Let's take a look at our first half stats as well. These are the team numbers for you after the first 30 minutes of today's ball game.
And JMU, true to form on defense, Kurt, they hold their opponents to just 14.7 points per game, and that's where Elon is right now with 14 points.
Time possession favoring JMU by 5 there. Look at the first downs, 2-1, the margin there. Total yards, 333 for JMU. Cole Johnson, 21-22, 276 yards for Cheek, 11 for 16, 135 yards. And Cheek going to work from his own 25-yard line to try to get the Phoenix back into this ball game.
See how the weather may affect things here. And already he dropped the snap from center.
And Isaac Ukwu gets to him. Bryce Carter comes in to help him, and the Dukes get their first sack of the day. That is a Food Lion sack. The sack to give back. Food Lion Feeds just donated another 1,000 meals to feed our neighbors in need here in Harrisonburg. A total of 33,000 meals will be donated in the communities at participating colleges this season. So let's cheer on the sacks to give back.
You could see the official wiping off the football. I mean, that snap came back to Davis Cheek, and he muffed it just a little bit, and it allowed James Madison's defenders to get in there and sack him.
Well, Dukes may have to create their own energy here in the second half. Unfortunately, with the rains, the crowd is diminished a little bit. And there goes Cheeks as he gets down with it and slides. You can see how far he slid after he got to the surface. As that's starting to certainly pile up out there, the rain is.
Yeah, usually when it rains like this, you'd say the advantage goes to the team running the football. But sometimes the defense can be at a disadvantage because the offensive guy knows where he's going and the defender doesn't, and one slip and you can wind up wide open.
Third down for the Phoenix. They were 4 out of 7 on third downs in the first half. That is Weeks in motion. Cortez settles in the slot. He's got a touchdown toss, floating it up over the top, and that is well defended, and no flags indeed. And that is Greg Ross, the corner, that knocks that away. Good pass breakup for the transfer from North Carolina.
He was stride for stride with the receiver, had a little bit of a hand on him, but right at the end of the play, you can see reaches up with that left hand. Terrific defensive coverage on the play.
Fourth down, and Yerk will come in to punt. So Dukes will get the football, a wet football at that, to start their offense here in the second half. They're early in the second half as the possession lasts just a minute 24. A low kick. Schroba will field it, and he's going to try to make the return. He does so to the 40, to the 45. He's got a seam here on the sideline, and flags come in.
Block in the back.
Indeed, that is the case, as it looked like knocked in the back was C.J. Ford.
Personal foul. Illegal blindside block. Return team, number 21. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's one of those changes too, Steve, that is, it's new to the game. There hasn't been that many opportunities in those cases to make such blocks.
Yeah, back in the day, that was just a terrific block.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
And, you figure if a guy doesn't know he's going to get hit, then he doesn't know he's going to get hit. But in this day and age where they're trying to keep these young men from being injured, they're not allowing those blindside blocks or crackback blocks, if you will.
Well, Dukes will get it still in pretty good field position, however. Unfortunately, though, it does wipe out a good chunk of Jack Schroba, one of his best returns of the season. Latrell Palmer, he tiptoes his way and finds good running room. They're working off that left side, and Latrell got banged up at the end of that.
Yeah, he's slow to get up. You got to figure that Cignetti will do his best to try to run the football here, use some clock, try to ground it out.
Now, Latrell takes his helmet off right away. Looked like he got hit at the end there. Oh, look. Okay.
Well, that's not helmet to helmet, but that's certainly a shoulder to the head. And let's hope he's okay.
Second down and 2. And Dukes, I'm sure with a 21-point lead, as best they can, will just try to gain possession. And here is Wells, little slant. And it comes loose at the end.
Yeah, they'll call it incomplete.
No catch.
Too bad he had it.
Ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Just couldn't hang on to it.
Jaden Dennis was there covering for the Phoenix.
And you wonder if, a wet football might have caused that, or the defender pulled it out of there. Let's see.
Or a combo of both.
Yeah, it comes loose as he hits the ground, but they ruled that he didn't have possession long enough to call it a completion.
Third down and a couple. Defensive line splits its distance just a bit. Here comes Wells in motion as he comes across the line of scrimmage. Flaring it out far side, and that is incomplete.
That's a tough pass to complete.
It is.
It's all the way across the field. Pass has to be perfect. It takes a long time to develop. Madison will have to punt.
So we'll see today for the first time Harry O'Kelly come out and punt for James Madison, the Australian, as he stands back on his own 29-yard line. O'Kelly from Queensland, Australia. Punts this away. See if he can get it to lock up, and it does.
Oh,
Makes
man.
a nice little U-turn.
It's exactly what it did. It took a U-turn.
So it'll get down at the 6-yard line.
Did they drive on the other side of the road down there?
Not sure.
We better check.
Harry drives wherever he wants to. You just got to know a little bit about Harry. We'll find out a little bit more about Harry when we come back. So we'll go back to the sideline with Corey. But right now, we're going to take a timeout. JMU leading at 35-14. JMU football, it's presented from Learfield.
These are beautiful.
Yes, your new baby is here. Now all you want is to take her for a spin. But you can't.
Stop.
Because your other baby, the human one, just opened a nail salon. No problem. CarMax delivers right to your door, so you don't have to lift a finger. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
Cross Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
At Excel Heating and Cooling, we know you spend a lot of time in your home, maybe more than before. Being comfortable is something you forget about until it becomes a problem. We want you to be comfortable. Get your heating and cooling system tune-up for only $79. We'll make sure your system is keeping you cozy. If there's an issue, we've got solutions, like the Excel Comfort Series heat pumps and furnaces. Excel Heating and Cooling. Comfort by design.
Virginia Business Systems has been solving our customers' most challenging business problems for over 65 years. With best-in-class office productivity solutions from Konica Minolta, HP, Xerox, and Lexmark, Virginia Business Systems provides fast-forward office technology that saves time and money for your business. Call or visit our website today and see how VBS can help your company grow through superior technology and service.
Bojangles is the official tailgate partner of JMU Athletics. Don't forget to pick up your Big Bow box and cheer on the Dukes. It is bow time.
What a difference a half makes in terms of the weather. The first half was relatively dry. There was very little wind. Now it's raining. And I'm looking at the flags. They're kicking up.
And the Phoenix with the ball at the 6-yard line after the punt by Harry O'Kelly. The handoff, well, he stepped into the end zone, but he does fortunately get back out for the Phoenix fans, and the Dukes are there as Sam Kidd makes the tackle.
Yeah, that's a loss of yardage.
Yeah, let's go Ergie's Cheesesteak sideline report, and always an interesting conversation when we talk to Mr. Harry O'Kelly, isn't it, Corey Spector?
And O'Kelly coming off of tying his career high with 4 punts inside the 20 last week against Delaware. His 5th and final year here at James Madison. He is totally soaking it in, coming out of the Pro Kick Academy in Australia that has produced NFL talent like Michael Dixon of the Seahawks, Jordan Berry of the Vikings, who was actually his mentor with Pro Kick Australia. Perhaps the guy he was closest with, though, there, his brother Seamus, who is now a punter at Texas State. Harry joked that Seamus does a lot more punting than he does, and that's certainly a good thing for James Madison. It showed on the field today. O'Kelly saying that he really hopes that his parents can watch him play one final time. The restrictions between travel in Australia and America, they're still challenging, but he hopes that they can come for graduation and also come to see them play football in the postseason. We'll find out.
All right.
Certainly hope they're watching on Flow Sports.
Yeah,
They
could do
got
that.
a subscription to that, you know?
Yeah. It's probably about 4 a.m. there, but that's okay. They're used to that.
Good pressure by Madison on that last play to force the incompletion.
So 3rd down in a long situation. In his own end zone, it's Cheek, stands there, releases it, and that's incomplete.
Boy, lucky they didn't get a pass interference on that.
That ball was a little high there, too, I think.
A little high. Ross had his hands
catchable.
on the receiver, but no flag, and they're going to be forced to punt from deep in their own end zone.
Yeah, Duke should get outstanding field position here. Yeah, Harry, he did not during the COVID. He just stayed here in the United States. He couldn't get back home, but he was one of those that was at the Atlantic Union Bank Center at a lot of basketball games last year. Happened to see him. He was sitting right down from our broadcast location this past winter, but he's looking forward to getting a lot more fans and students in there this year.
Here's where you want to guard against roughing the kicker. No reason to mess with him.
Yeah, you're going to get it. Great field position, and there's Schroba, and he's on the go to the far side, puts his head down, and here comes a flag as Schroba goes down at the 20. I'm not sure where this, I saw where the flag came from, but I'm not sure why it came out.
Well, if it's against the Dukes, it's going to penalize them again 15 yards, which is unfortunate. Let's see.
During the return, holding, return team, number 28, 10-yard penalty, first down.
So every time Jack seems to have a really good, nice return, there's a penalty involved with it, unfortunately. That was Kyle Holmes that time on the return, I believe, that got called for the hold.
Well, you can see.
No, I think it was, he might have said 20. I think it was 38.
Yeah, you could see the grabbing of the jersey. It was a good call. But it hurts you when you make those kinds of mistakes.
Well, maybe I misread that, so not sure. Anyway, let's move on. And Van Horst, the ball carrier for JMU. Josh Johnson, number 99, brings him down after a gain of a couple. Dukes have scored 21 unanswered points in this contest. Both teams answering the others' touchdowns to the 14-14 tie, and then the Dukes ripping off 21 in a row. This is Van Horst as he gets his way, breaks the first tackle, and then rumbles ahead, presenting the Dukes with a third down and short.
Real nice burst of speed there for Van Horst. Picking up a couple extra yards. Third and two.
As Van Horst heading off to the sideline for JMU. They'll probably bring in Palmer. Good to see him come back out there as he left. 10 carries for 40 yards for Palmer. Van Horst, that was just his second carry of the afternoon. He also has a reception. Palmer, and he still got it as he turns his body and picks up the first down.
Ball carried by Palmer.
Well, Palmer he's got that forward momentum, and then he spins around.
Yeah, Trey Allsbrooks had a shot at him. He tried to grab him from behind, but Palmer just a little bit too strong and kept his legs churning, doing what he does best, just getting yardage, making something out of nothing.
Keep an eye on Cole Johnson. Looked like he got banged up a little bit on that last play. Going to hand it off again to Palmer. Palmer straight ahead after a couple of jump cuts. Good first down play for Palmer.
Yeah, if you're Signetti, this is what you want to do. Just grind it out, use the clock, try to get positive yardage, and maybe get in here for a score, but don't take any chances with turning the ball over.
In this series, which this is game number 10, the Dukes have outscored the Phoenix by an average score of 39-14. And it's looking that way right now, pretty close to that. But we still have considerable time left here in the second half. Third down in less than one. Dukes on third down conversions, 5 out of 7.
Quickly they line up, try to pick up this first down. Not going to get it.
Well, Johnson, he might have picked it up on his own. Of course, they didn't pay much attention to him after he handed it off, Devontae Chandler, but a good fake, and he may have got to the end zone, quite frankly. And that's how he did it last week against Delaware. Very similar play.
So they lost yardage, and it looks like they're going to bring Ratke in, who's made a field goal in 28 straight games.
So Ratke.
Had a 32-yard attempt, looks like.
He had 4 field goals in this game in 2018, which at that time established a single-game record for JMU. And, of course, he broke that last weekend. And there is consecutive game number 29 with a field goal.
I mean, the guy is something special. A terrific kicker. Special Teams Player of the Week in the CAA. After 5 field goals last week, and single-handedly had more points than anybody on the Delaware football team, 16 of them.
Well, he adds 3 more to the JMU lead. 38-14. We return you to Harrisonburg, soggy as it is, when we come back after this. JMU football from Learfield. CarMax is proud to be the season-presenting sponsor of the 2021 JMU football season, the 50th in the history of the program. CarMax, the way car buying should be. Ethan Ratke with the field goal for James Madison expands the JMU lead. That's 24 in a row now for JMU. It was a 32-yarder for the senior and the touchback.
Pretty good kickoff by Camden Wise, who does the kicking duties on kickoffs. Obviously, Ratke, the field goal kicker. That one goes into the end zone, and Elon will try again. I tell you what, you got to give credit to what Madison has done, because Davis Cheek is a fantastic quarterback with a live arm, and while he's hit on a big, long touchdown pass this game, the Dukes have pressured him enough, and the defensive secondary has been up to the task so far.
He's 11 out of 19, 135 yards. Doesn't have his back up to the wall like he did the last possession following the O'Kelly punt. This time he hands it off to Witherspoon, and he gets stood up after a gain of a couple. He takes one under the chin. And that's just a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, Tucker Dorsey really put the wood to him that time and knocked him backward.
Now Dukes have kind of neutralized the big plays for the Phoenix today, and their receivers. Daughtry is the big man, 4 catches for 81 yards, including the 52-yard touchdown catch. But JMU is defensively making it difficult. This is over the top and the corner, and here comes the flag.
Chuck Winecki. Yeah, I didn't see it toward the end of the play. It looked like he was running stride for stride, but maybe he had hands on him.
Pass interference. Defense, number 34. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the first PI against the Dukes today. And there have been some games when that has been an issue.
Yeah, it's tough to tell whether he was grabbing the receiver or the two of them had a hold of each other. But they got the PI. And, of course, in college, it's just a 15-yard penalty, so ball spotted at their own 42. And the rain continues to come down here in the Berg.
It's been pretty steady since the start of halftime. We dodged the rain in the first half.
And only the bravest of the fans have remained here under cover. I say under cover, their ponchos.
This is Weeks in motion. Faking the handoff. Here's the pump fake, and now he's going to roll out looking downfield. Nobody there, and he's just going to throw it away. Cheeks will not. Well, smartly. Well, he just doesn't play. His mistakes are so few and far between, even when he's under duress.
Yeah. No, he's smart. He had the kind of day last week that Cole Johnson is having today. He threw 31 passes last week against New Hampshire and completed 27 of them.
And right in the backfield, met just as the ball was exchanging. That was Okonji getting back there for the Dukes as he gets up close and personal with Witherspoon.
And nobody blocked him on the play. There he is.
Transfer out of Minnesota.
3rd and 11 now.
4 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions. And the Phoenix 38 yards rushing on 16 carries. Of course, they air it out quite a bit. And here comes the pressure and a sack. Another Food Lion sack, and it's Isaac Ukwu, number 0, for the sack for James Madison.
A lot of credit to the defensive coordinator for the Dukes. I think that he's done a terrific job here this afternoon, using pressure when they needed to. The defensive secondary has been terrific. And, of course, they've stopped the run for the most part as well. So a really good performance and a good scheme drawn up.
Ukwu has 5.5 sacks after that sack. Gives him that meaning his career as well. A good story about Isaac, of course, as he missed 2 years with ACL tears. High snap. Here comes the pressure.
Amazing that he got that away and could have been called, the Dukes could have been called for roughing. Had he gone down, I think they would have thrown the flag, but he stayed on his feet. And a tremendous job by the punter to get that thing off because the snap turned him completely around.
Yeah, he kind of looked like O'Kelly on the run, the way he punted that ball away. But this time, of course, the pressure from JMU creating that. Antoine Wells, we've talked a lot about Cole Johnson, but Antoine's had a pretty good day hauling in some of these aerials from Cole.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. Most of the passes have been on the money, and even when they've turned him around just a little bit, he's managed to make the grab. He's been fantastic.
Well, Cole also this afternoon has surpassed 5,000 career total yards of offense. As he came into today needing 240, and he is well over that now. And you see our camera operators.
Yeah, they're under those tarps, but that's no fun right now. I'm glad they're getting paid for this because they're not doing it for their health.
Yeah, Pierce on the left, Grant on the right, under the baggies. 38-14. And there's the handoff, yep, and a nice little sidestep and a first down for the Dukes and Ergie's cheesesteak first down. And that carry come off the strength of Lorenzo Bryant Jr., the transfer from Rhode Island.
Well, a huge hole on the left side of the line. Wow, that was gigantic. 5:20 to play, 3rd quarter. Dukes content to grind it out here and try to make first downs.
At the Elon 47-yard line. Duke's starting to rack up some offensive yardage total today also, as there goes Palmer. Duke's at 381 just before that play. I'll make it 82. He just gains 1.
Where does Cole Johnson stand yardage-wise?
Today?
Yep.
276 yards.
Most of that in the first half.
Yes.
5 touchdown passes.
Johnson has 2 receivers here to the near side. Cheatham, who has a touchdown reception off the hip of Fernattle. He pulls to the right, and he's going to block, and that is Johnson on the move as he slides, goes down at the 36 and ends up at a 31.
Yeah, I called that in the first half a setup play, and you run that with the sole intention, not the sole intention, but knowing that later in the game you're going to fake that handoff, and the quarterback is going to keep it, and this time he got good yardage.
Duke's also taking their time, and they don't need tempo, leading it by the margin that they do to work this game. And well in control right now. There's Palmer. Palmer off the left side, following Fernattle.
Real impressed with the JMU offensive line. This is a good Elon defense, and the offensive line is just, doing what they have to do. They're making blocks. They're protecting the quarterback. They're enabling the running backs to get some yardage. It's been tough down there in the trenches, and they've done a real nice job.
Yeah, a lot of folks up here talking at halftime and in some of our internal communications, making note of all the yardage as the Latrell Palmer has stood up with no gain. And thinking, number 77, Fernattle, back in the lineup. I'd be curious. I'm going to see one of the questions I'm sure that will be posed to Coach Signetti after the game is, what influence did this really have? Did it open things up as much as you wanted it to? Ravenel back out there. Actually, his older brother Brandon is our next guest on our 50-year series.
Nice. He was a great receiver here.
He was a fun one. That's a Wells sets up. The Dukes trips to the right. Johnson back to pass. Looks, pumps, and he's got Ravenel wide open. Ravenel touchdown.
Talk about speak of the devil. There he is. And again, good time for Cole Johnson to locate a receiver. Nobody really got any pressure on him. The offensive line doing a great job, and the receiver getting free. And that's 6 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers, and that's the first time in JMU history that's been done.
Yeah, we're talking about 50 years of JMU football. Well, this has never happened in 50 years of JMU football. 6 touchdown tosses off the arm of one quarterback, and he does so to 5 different receivers today. And Ratke adds even more as the Dukes up 45-14, 2:39 remaining, and JMU just really taking over this ball game here in this third quarter of play. The Dukes leading it. Rainy afternoon in Harrisonburg, but the offense has got it going. And we'll return you to the Shenandoah Valley after this message. JMU football from Learfield.
Jerry get to the bank? Jerry finally crossed rock climbing off his bucket list, and he has a souvenir to prove it. So how does Jerry get to the bank? He doesn't. At AtlanticUnionBank.com, Jerry can schedule a live video appointment with a knowledgeable banker, ready to help out and answer his questions, all while focusing on other important things. No shoes required. Video appointments that simplify your life. Another reason why the switch is on to Atlantic Union Bank.
Toyota was named the best resale value brand by Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com for 2021, with 5 models named best in class, including Camry, best midsize car, Sienna, best minivan, RAV4 Hybrid, best hybrid car, Tacoma, best midsize pickup truck, and Tundra, best full-size pickup truck. For the best in value, there's only one place to go. Toyota. Let's go places.
Behind every team is a great community. Door Gorilla is proud to be the official garage door provider for JMU Athletics and proud to support their community. When you need a garage door, call 540-740-DOOR and show your support for JMU this season. Oops.
Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
Well, the Dukes leading it 45-14. Devin Ravenel hauling in the school record 6 touchdown toss off the arm of Cole Johnson this afternoon. And he becomes the 5th receiver in this ball game to also find his way into the purple end zone. And a fair catch called for right away by the Phoenix. Well, you know, Cheek coming into this game, we talk so much about him, and right now facing no doubt, an uphill battle in the rain in his face. But he is a young man that has overcome adversity throughout his college football career. Let's go once again down to the sidelines for trying to stay dry is Corey Spector with our Ergie's Cheesesteak sideline report.
Yeah, Cheek suffered a torn ACL in the game after that momentous victory over James Madison back in 2018. Going into the spring 2021 season, a Lisfranc injury cost him the entire season. Cheek remembers the entire series of events. It was a scrimmage on February the 6th, non-contact injury. After a fumble by the offense, he ran back to try to tackle the defensive player, had some indecision, made a wrong cut, and that's when he basically bursted through his shoe, had the Lisfranc injury, and missed the entire season. So yes, Kurt, like you said, he has faced a lot of adversity. The figure that has been in his life throughout the majority of his college career, that's his dog Zeus, a German Shepherd who he's had since his freshman year. I can't imagine the amount of responsibility that Davis Cheek must have, a quarterback on a team and also having a dog as well. Man, that's tough.
Yeah, I'll tell you, got to get up and take Zeus outside early in the morning before you go lift weights. And that pass finally gets off, and a good rush to the ball by a lot of purple-clad jerseys.
Yeah,
for JMU.
The JMU player is slow getting up. It's Tucker Dorsey who got hit, grabbed his left leg. Looks like he might be okay, but this is obviously a concern at this stage of the game where you want to make sure nobody gets hurt. With a sloppy, very, very slick field at this point.
Yeah, the substantial lead for JMU, 45-14. Cheek, 12 of 22, 138 yards. Third down, now 4 out of 10 are the Phoenix. And taking off with it, still trying to stay behind the line of scrimmage. And Cheek will run for the first down. He does get to it. I want to give a shout out today, too, as James Ferguson, the Director of Football Operations, celebrating a birthday today. It's kind of he administrates a lot of all of what goes on with this football team.
Sure.
Back to pass, and here comes some pressure, and he gets it off, and it's to nobody.
Yeah, again, great pressure on the blitz. There was nowhere for Cheek to go, and he just had to throw it away. Speaking of birthdays, my old partner with the Wizards has a birthday today.
Oh, no kidding.
Phil Chenier.
Oh, happy birthday, Phil.
I'm not going to say how old he is, but
he probably appreciates that.
He got on me every time I told somebody's age, but he's aging nicely and doing well, so happy birthday there, partner.
Second down and 10. And Cheeks with the incomplete. He's 12 of 23 after that miss. Comes Kidd off the edge, and Kidd gets back to him and brings him down. There's the sack for Sam Kidd.
Again, looking at this, Kurt, you have to credit the secondary because these are coverage sacks at this point. He's getting time to find somebody for the most part, but as soon as his initial receiver is covered, he's got nowhere else to go, and they're on him.
Well, we've seen, particularly not necessarily in the first series, but as the game has worked on, the coverage has been there. Every time a pass comes out, there seems to be a JMU jersey right next door to the intended receiver, the one pass interference call. But he has not had a chance to really look downfield and find somebody wide open.
Right, with the exception of the long touchdown pass. Yep, they've done a nice job with him.
And I think that was a busted rotation, quite honestly, on that touchdown. The pass is low. Cheek stands tall.
Again, he's got time.
Yep, and that is dropped. That's 2 accounts. A little slippery out there for Jordan Bonner, and he may have heard steps as well.
Yeah, again, that football, like you say, is slick, and normally he makes that catch right through his hands. A break for the Dukes. Phoenix have to punt.
Bonner, a transfer from Purdue, former Boilermaker. And he had season-high 43 receiving yards against William and Mary in late September. But he misses on that opportunity.
10 seconds to go in the quarter. Nearly, and this time he falls down, but there's no call.
Wasn't much contact, I don't think. The Small Business Game Changer is back and better than ever. Enter your business to win a $20,000 marketing package with JMU Athletics and Appeal Production. Visit jmusports.com/Game Changer. Three seconds to go before we turn it over to the fourth quarter. JMU 428 yards of total offense.
Wow.
The Phoenix 171.
That's sort of been the tail of the tape for Madison most of this year. It's just tough to get yardage on that defense.
And limiting Cheek to just 138 is really quite remarkable. He was averaging just under 300. In fact, 4 times this year he has passed for more than 300 yards in a game. And that run by Palmer will close the third quarter of play. So the Dukes 31 unanswered points. We were tied at one point in this ball game, 14 apiece, but it's 45-14 when we return to Harrisonburg for the fourth quarter of JMU football from Learfield.
Hey, Harrisonburg, say goodbye to slow download speeds and broken internet connections. Get the internet you deserve with Glo Fiber, a proud supporter of the JMU Dukes. Glo Fiber is here and offers simple, straightforward internet service. No gimmicks, no contracts, no hidden pricing. Just incredibly fast, reliable service at a fair price. Let your internet service be a bright spot in your day. Visit glofiber.com and see about your availability. Glo Fiber, brought to you by Chantel.
Maybe you're considering video as part of your 2020 marketing campaign. It could be over green screen so you could be anywhere in the world. Ooh la la. Or you could be outside of your office enjoying a beautiful day. Or maybe you need a little drone action. Maybe your business is a little more animated. Let us stretch your imagination to create appeal.
Tea is something to discover. You can't be impatient. When I craft pure leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts. I fine-tune the blend according to what comes from nature. I want people to experience the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. That's why I taste and taste until I craft a smooth, delicious iced tea. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
Today's game is presented by United Bank. United Bank, save today for a secure tomorrow. Kurt Dudley, Steve Buckhantz, Corey Spector here at Bridgeford Stadium. It's been the Cole Johnson show this afternoon for the Dukes of James Madison. The JMU offensive unit going back out there. Johnson has found Wells 8-time, Thornton 5, Ravenel 2, Brown twice, Palmer, Cheatham, Painter, Van Horst, and Bryant 1 reception apiece. So he is selecting his arsenal quite a bit there. There goes Palmer. and picks up a first down.
What a day he's had, too. I mean, we've talked so much about Johnson and his throwing. Latrell Palmer has been the workhorse for this team on the ground, and he just continues to grind out yardage.
That's his 19th carry. And it gives us an Ergie's cheesesteak first down, which that is number 20 of the day. Dukes with two receivers here to the near side. It is Thornton and Wells. Here comes Cheatham to set up off the right. Handoff again to Palmer. Jump cuts to the left, and he's tripped up as he gets up the far hash mark. Omar Rogers got him by the shoe top.
Yeah, Rogers, he's had a nice game. He's made some good stops.
Comes Bryant in for the Dukes. Whistle, stoppage of play for something.
Looks like an official timeout, and I'm not sure why.
Resetting the play clock for some reason.
Mm-hmm. The brave souls across the way from us, I just counted them. There's 138 people on the other side. I actually counted them one by one.
Did you? Okay.
You can do that when there's that few people remaining, but give them credit, those folks. It's kind of cold now. It's raw. It's windy. It's raining.
There is a pretty good pocket in the lower right as we look across the field. Those are the Elon fans that are still with us. This is Bryant.
Good holes being opened up by the JMU offensive line. We've kind of talked about it ad nauseum, but they've been really stellar here this afternoon, protecting Johnson, opening up some holes, and just being real physical with that good Elon defense.
That's the Elon contingent across the way here at Bridgeport Stadium. Third down in about 4.
Phoenix winning 3 straight games. This is going to be first loss in 4 games for him.
Well, also another final that we need to talk about. Villanova loses today to William & Mary, 31-18. Johnson, here comes the pressure, and he's just going to pull it down and take the sack. So with that, nobody unbeaten in CAA play. The Dukes have done that several times in the last 5 years.
And I think
not this year.
Excuse me, Kurt. I think at this point you start to wonder now if maybe Johnson might be done for the day. I don't know how much.
Yes.
A, you need to risk him, and B, you get a chance to get your backup quarterback a little bit of play, even though its conditions aren't great.
Yeah, and that would be interesting. Whether if he were, I'd be curious to see who he will, if he does, make the change. Kurt Signetti with the quarterback. This is O'Kelly.
A little pooch kick.
And very well covered at the 5-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a commercial timeout here. 12:10 to go in this ball game. The Dukes took over this ball game in the second, and they've got it well in hand right now. And we'll be back to soggy Harrisonburg after these messages. JMU football is from Learfield.
After working together to address COVID-19, here at Centera,
we want to say thank you.
Thank you to our community leaders, faith-based clergy, city leaders, and volunteers. Without your tireless efforts, many would have gone unvaccinated.
Thank you to our team members bravely serving on the front lines, putting the health of patients before all else.
Together, our community partners and team members made progress possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that we achieved together.
Now that you're ready to travel again, we're here to help you make up for the trips you've missed and reunite with family and friends. At SHD, the travel process is easy and stress-free. Plus, we can help you travel smarter with a clean, less crowded travel experience. Our partnership with United allows you to fly comfortably while seamlessly connecting you to those who matter most around the globe. We know you're ready to make up for lost time, and SHD is ready to welcome you back.
Hey, Harrisonburg, say goodbye to slow download speeds and broken internet connections. Get the internet you deserve with GlowFiber, a proud supporter of the JMU Dukes. GlowFiber is here and offers simple, straightforward internet service. No gimmicks, no contracts, no hidden pricing. Just incredibly fast, reliable service at a fair price. Let your internet service be a bright spot in your day. Visit glowfiber.com and see about your availability. Glow Fiber, brought to you by Chantel.
These are beautiful.
Yes, your new baby is here. Now all you want is to take her for a spin. But you can't.
Stop.
Because your other baby, the human one, just opened a nail salon. No problem. CarMax delivers right to your door, so you don't have to lift a finger. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
Virginia 529 is the official college savings plan of JMU Athletics. Down to the sideline for another Ergie's Cheesesteak sideline hit with our man Corey Spector. Corey?
Well, Kurt, you know defensive coordinator Corey Heatherman as this very intense eat, breathe, and sleep football type of guy. If you ever walk into his office, he is just so intense and so methodical about his preparation. Even he cracked a smile, though, on the sideline. It seems like a very relaxed bunch right now. But just when I thought he was mellowing down, he looked at his players and said, "Hey, step on their throats," and it looks like there's a big play here.
Yeah, that's getting a little too relaxed, I think, there. And so where's Corey Heatherman now? I would imagine his demeanor's a little different.
Oh, yeah, he's pacing around. I'm sure he's not liking these big plays. 12 minutes to go, there's always bulletin board material, right? It doesn't matter the score. You got to make sure your players are in line for the future. You know what's going to happen.
It's interesting because Heatherman was a college quarterback. You probably, if you put him in a lineup and said, the way his demeanor is, which one of these guys is a college quarterback, you wouldn't pick Corey Heatherman. You would have thought
linebacker.
Yeah, linebacker, defensive end.
Nitschke type.
Yeah, exactly. But no, he was a college quarterback, but has certainly brought a good defensive mindset here to James Madison University, which, quite frankly, JMU historically has always had a pretty good defense. 2nd down and 8. And there are always times where there are times every once in a while where things may not work quite as well as you like, but I think traditionally so. Defense has always been good here. 2nd down and 4. Make it 3rd down and 4 after that carry. Duke still rotating a lot of the starters defensively. They just moved one defensive line out and moved back to the starting 4 down linemen. We got Carpenter there in the middle and Mike Green. Bryce Carter, who's been a nice addition from Towson. The Dukes will wrap up the regular season against his old team. Billy Atkins is loosening a little bit on the sideline. Might be the quarterback of the future here at JMU. He has looked really good as the weeks have progressed, at least in practice. And Cheeks is going to pull it down and run and pick up the 1st down and even more. And he'll slide down.
Ball kept on Cheeks.
Cheek still competing.
Yep, that's what he does. He's a competitor, and he's a talented guy, so they're not going to give up.
They go with the hurry play and eludes a tackle and then eventually brought down Surratt with the stop. That pass brought in again by Dowdy.
Yeah, he's been kind of stifled today, but he had great reception last week for a touchdown. He's an excellent receiver.
Cheeks getting a little rhythm this time, and he finds another man open over the middle. Surratt with the tackle. Brayboy comes in with the reception for the Phoenix. Chandler Brayboy, a redshirt freshman from Pembroke, North Carolina, had a season-high 112 yards, 8 receptions, and a touchdown in the season opener against the Terriers of Wofford, a game in which Elon lost.
It's a false start.
Infraction. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
And they got up to the line trying to run the play a little too quick, and a couple of people weren't set. Dukes next week will entertain Campbell.
Yeah, the Camels
will be here.
First meeting between those programs in football from Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. This will be the latest non-conference game for the Dukes in a good number of years, as that is caught. Again, releasing it is Cheeks finding Doughty.
Cheek, again, the presence of mind to step up in the pocket, not panic, keep his poise, and then find a receiver.
You have to go back, talk about non-conferences late in the year. Their last late non-conference game was a win at Charlotte when Charlotte was making the transition. And Everett Withers was the head coach in 2014. Dukes won down there. But the last time they played a non-conference game in November was in 2003. That was here against Charleston Southern. And there goes Weatherby, and nope, Weatherspoon that is, excuse me. And he comes shy of the first of the touchdown. He's at the 2. Second down and goal to go from there. Hurry up again. And this is Cheeks, but he turns around, and as he made his cut, footing went out from underneath him.
Yeah, he slipped a little bit, tried to regain his footing, and the Dukes were on him, but
and Dukes have a player down. That is Chuck Winicki.
Yep. Again, we talked about this with the way the field is now and the conditions. You just don't want anybody to get hurt.
Chris has been playing really well this season. Has been a, you can use the phrase pleasant surprise, but those are the stories that come about, during the course of a college football season. And it looks like they're going to take a timeout, and we will so as they take a look at Chris Chuck Winicki, who has played so well for the Dukes here in 2021. 45-14 our score. And Chuck's on his feet. That's good news, but we'll take a break and give him some time to recover here. JMU football from Learfield. The official beverage partner of JMU Athletics. Steve, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. We're dry.
Yeah, we are dry.
Not so fortunate for some of the fans who have stayed, or Mikey G and the guys that are down there shooting footage. But right. They're the real heroes this afternoon. We got it easy. And a timeout taken by JMU.
30-second timeout.
All right, so we'll keep it here, just the 30 seconds. Yeah, those guys are earning it today. Hey, Cole has had a wonderful day, and I give credit to our folks. Comer back in the press box. Ty is doing a great job. Back in the control booth. Look at this, what Cole Johnson has done today. It's been quite remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, guy's been amazing. 22 of 25, 307 yards, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. His quarterback rating is a meager 270.
Not too shabby.
I mean, he's had a career day here. His receivers have been spectacular. Antoine Wells Jr., third 100-yard game of the season, the 5th of his career. He's got a couple of touchdown passes today, just remarkable.
And Cole to 307 yards, and here goes the touchdown run, and
a little bit short.
Phoenix are just shy.
And there's a flag that came at the back of the end zone.
Sort this one out.
Came as the play was winding down, and there was a flag thrown very late and in the back of the end zone.
Offside. Defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal. Wow. Third down.
We've seen this before.
Unusual place for that penalty to be called, you would think, from that official, but he had a bead on number 99.
Hey, Corey Spector's got a pretty good sideline. He is right there on the goal line. Corey?
Sprinting off the bench onto the field, and that's why he was offside. So JMU only had 10 players on the field coming out of the timeout.
And this time it's Cheek diving over the top, and it's plucked away.
I think that's going to
a touchdown.
It's going to be a touchdown. You know, with that rule, obviously, as soon as the ball breaks the plane, not only is it a touchdown,
is a touchdown,
but the play is dead.
Right.
The moment that the tip of that ball breaks the front end of that white line, the play is over. So it doesn't matter what happened after that, but that was a heads-up defensive play to take the ball out of his hands. That's going to be a touchdown.
They'll take a look at it here, but you're right. And you have to have that delineation, that definite demarcation of touchdown, end of play, and
right.
Thus you have the plane of the goal.
Right, and what's critical here is possession. So does he have possession? Of course he does. If the ball, in fact, crossed the goal line, from that angle it's kind of tough to tell, but the officials on the sideline, you're going to look at it, and again, it's hard to tell, but it looks like the ball went over the goal line. I mean, he only had a few inches to leap forward, and even though the ball was taken out of his hand, again, the play will be dead the moment that ball breaks the plane.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
So Cheek with the touchdown. And the Phoenix stop the JMU scoring streak at 31 consecutive points.
Yeah, nice drive down the field by Cheek to get his team going and, you know, not give up here and continue to work and play hard, and got him a touchdown out of it.
95 yards on the play, or excuse me, on the drive rather, and the extra point is knocked through by Skylar Davis. Davis, 91 out of 94 in his career. And we're going to take a break once again here. Changing the score, JMU leading at 45-21. CAA and JMU football from Flow Sports and Learfield.
Maybe you're considering video as part of your 2020 marketing campaign. It could be over green screen, so you could be anywhere in the world. Ooh la la. Or you could be outside of your office enjoying a beautiful day. Or maybe you need a little drone action. Maybe your business is a little more animated. Let us stretch your imagination to create appeal.
Hi, Ryan Hyatt here, General Manager of Lakeview Golf Club.
Voter the best in the Valley 27-hole golf course now offers a 9-hole par 3 course. Master your golf swing inside to out on our state-of-the-art indoor golf simulator. Practice and play a virtual round of golf from courses around the world in the comfort of a climate-controlled environment. League play starts in October. Sign up today.
Come enjoy a round at Pebble Beach. Enjoy your favorite football game. Enjoy a cold beverage. Can it get any better than that?
Potbelly?
Potbelly.
Potbelly?
Potbelly.
Potbelly?
Potbelly. Potbelly. Our staff is warmer than most places because we're standing so close to the oven.
Potbelly.
Potbelly.
Potbelly? Potbelly.
After working together to address COVID-19, here at Centera,
We want to say thank you.
Thank you to our community leaders, faith-based clergy, city leaders, and volunteers. Without your tireless efforts, many would have gone unvaccinated.
thank you to our team members bravely serving on the front lines, putting the health of patients before all else.
Together, our community partners and team members made progress possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all that we achieved together.
This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by James Madison University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the express written consent of JMU and Learfield.
Big week for the Dukes and this program as they look to make a move up, Kurt, and just waiting on some technicalities at the end of the week to be passed by the General Assembly, but a lot of fans around here excited that this program might be going up to the FBS.
Yeah, there has been some chit-chat about it certainly this week and some announcements from the Board of Visitors, and it looks like a onside kick was successfully executed by the Phoenix of Elon, and wet surface may have been helpful in that. Yes, Steve, yesterday the Board of Visitors did meet, and reading from a statement, an important step as JMU moves forward in its consideration and evaluation of an invitation to join the Sun Belt Conference. They're pleased by the vote of the Board of Visitors Executive Committee and look forward to the next steps of the process with the Virginia General Assembly Athletics Commission. The bottom line of that is that when you move up a division, then you have to take that to the Virginia General Assembly. So, Old Dominion wouldn't necessarily have to do it because they're already playing at the FBS level, but that's the next step in this process.
And so what that means for you Dukes fans and alumni and friends and followers is that you've now got to really step it up and come to the plate and keep this program growing, make your donations, because that's what it's going to take at the FBS level when you've got some 75 scholarships to deal with in football alone. So, it's really going to be a challenge for this university, which has grown by leaps and bounds from back in the day when this football program started in 1972, and there were about 7,000 people here, to now where there's about 22,000 students.
Correct.
You've got to continue that growth, and that means monetarily as well. So it's incumbent on all the followers and the alumni to really step up and do what they need to do.
And those donations, too, Steve, to echo that to my buddies at the Duke Club, of course, you don't have to give big dollars. Just, make sure that you are contributing some form or fashion. And Cheek kept it, and Mike Green gets in the backfield for a sack.
I mean, you look at what's taken place here just logistically, physically. I mean, from the start of this program when there were no stands on either side of this football field, although this was the first school in the state of Virginia to have an AstroTurf football field. So back in the day, you had just the field with nothing on either side, and then the stands came, first the ones closest to Godwin Hall on the north side of the field, and then eventually the stands on the near side where we are, and a stadium that's as nice as any in the FCS in the country.
The pass here to the near side is caught and out of bounds.
And, back then you had nothing on the other side, the east side of Interstate 81, which runs just to the side of this university. There was nothing there, and the first thing that went there was the Convocation Center, and then the recreation building, and then all of the buildings that are over there now, including the Lealoo Alumni Center and so many of the other great buildings that are over there. Now this campus is really remarkable.
4th down and 5. We've got to watch how they're lined up here. It's like Ukwu might be off sides from my vantage point here. And the ball comes loose.
It's still loose.
And they blow the whistle dead.
Let's see if JMU recovers.
Okay. All right. So the Dukes do get the recovery.
Again, the football, we know it's slick, it's wet. That's a low snap. Cheek couldn't field it. And Madison comes up with it.
Rolling on the field was a backwards pass, number 2, recovered for the defense. 1st down.
Okay, so, Cheeks may have got a little too fancy on that one, Davis Cheek?
It's a lateral, basically, and he just couldn't hang on to it. Yeah, it's a low snap, and it's a tough one. It was drilled back there and just couldn't get it. And they said Madison recovered it, which is fortunate for Elon because they were running in for a touchdown.
So Cole Johnson still is at quarterback. We did see Billy Atkins warming up just a little bit, but Cole is once again back out there for James Madison. So the execution on the onside kick for Elon gives the Phoenix back-to-back possessions. Can't capitalize as they turn it over.
24-point lead, and two make it 5:44 and counting to go in this game. And like you say, Johnson's still back there.
Dukes will flip-flop a bit with the tight ends. The H-back.
Nice run by Bryant. And there's an Elon player that's slow to get up. And Hillman looks like is a little bit shaken up. Marcus Hillman, Jr. from Camden, New Jersey.
All right, to go back a little bit. This is former players. About 200 were back here this weekend for part of the overall celebration of James Madison football's 50 years. They've been out there enjoying themselves quite a bit. I saw Mickey Stennett, one of the other former kickers here at James Madison, just as I came into the stadium today. He was headed over that way.
And next week, homecoming.
Homecoming, so yes.
You should see a lot of folks returning.
Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
One thing I was going to ask you, or I don't know if I had told you this, you were talking about the field, the AstroTurf, first in the Commonwealth of Virginia to have it. You know, Linton Towns came to JMU to play basketball here. What caught his attention was the turf.
Really?
He said, if that school's serious enough to put turf down, they got to be serious.
We used to play our intramural football games on that turf, and it was a thrill to be out there. And, you know, you felt like, wow, AstroTurf was a big deal at the time. Not many people had it.
But it wasn't very forgiving.
No.
Not the way it is today with the field turf. It's quite different.
We'd get under the lights and play intramurals, and it was a blast. Back in the days when this university really was pushed to the forefront by Dr. Carrier, Ronald Carrier, Dean Ehlers, the athletic director, Ray Sonner. Those three men really are responsible for, you know, what this program has become. They were in its infant stages, and they got them on the map. Dean Ehlers did a tremendous job coming from what was called Memphis State at the time and really helping JMU at the time called Madison College to get some big-time basketball games played with a great Sherman Dillard who was here. And they put this school on the map, and it's grown by leaps and bounds since then.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
But you got to give all the credit to Ronald Carrier, the late Ronald Carrier, who was such a great president of this university, loved by all.
Uncle Ron, he was called here at James Madison.
Yeah, we called him the doctor, and just a fabulous man. Loved him.
Kyle Davis, the long snapper, back to Harry O'Kelly. Takes a couple of steps, and he boots it over the head of the return man, and it's recovered again as Kidd gets to it at the 5-yard line. I think that's where they'll mark it, at the 5.
Yeah, another great punt that winds up, you know, it's not a spiral kick, it's an end over end, and when it hits, it goes backward, which is what you want. And the coverage was good. It's been good all afternoon.
We'll take a look at it once again. And while we're doing that, also congratulations to a couple of other JMU sports teams. Last night, JMU field hockey defeated William & Mary 3-2, so they go unbeaten in league play for the 2nd consecutive year. And the number 1 seed for next week's CAA tournament, Christy Morgan, given a contract extension through 2026. That was recently announced. As Shelley Clays of lacrosse, also an extension, and Tommy Baker of women's golf. All extensions through 26.
Davis Cheek remains in the game for Elon, coming off a fabulous performance last week in their win over New Hampshire, but this will be their first loss in 4 games.
And JMU women's soccer wraps up the regular season tomorrow at home against Delaware. The Dukes have won 4 in a row. They have clinched a berth in the CAA tournament coming up next week. And men's soccer at home tonight against Drexel. There's 7 teams still in a hunt for a berth among the 4 berths in the CAA tournament, which is in a couple of weeks on the men's side. Cheek with a toss out and the completion. That is Brayboy. Picks up the first down for the Phoenix as the clock drops below 3 minutes.
They stop it. They should stop it for a moment to move the chains, but it continues to run. Sure, Elon not too happy about that.
Yeah, a little miscoordination on a number of fronts there. Now Dukes keep moving their personnel around on the front line. Cheek using a lot of time. Drops back still, and that is incomplete.
Well, you can see the arm strength he has. He's got a quick release and just really throws a very pretty football and strong arm. But the Dukes have gotten enough pressure on him today, although he's had time. So, again, a lot of credit to the JMU secondary, because this could have been and was a real challenge for them to go up against a quarterback of this caliber. They have risen to the occasion, as you say.
Cheek just below 200 yards passing, 198 on 18 of 32 to the moment. Elon picking up some total offense here late in this ball game. And the ball carrier rumbles through and picks up the first down. Or picks up 3 yards on the play.
It's Griffin.
Yeah, Malik Griffin, a freshman running back from Philadelphia, PA.
Substitutes for JMU on defense now as it's 3rd and long.
And Jamari Currents comes in, one of the cornerbacks for the Dukes. Also out there, Xavier Coakley. Coakley, the boundary corner at the moment. Surratt follows his man into the slot. Here comes some pressure. Just lofts it out and nearly caught, but it ends up harmlessly out of bounds. 1:27 to go.
Again, pressure forced that errant throw as Cheek just had to heave it away. Almost completed it, as you said, but too much pressure from the Dukes defense. And Elon looks like they're going to have to punt it away. Only 1:27 seconds to go in this ball game.
So the Phoenix come to town, but they'll head back to Elon with their second conference loss, snapping the 3-game winning streak. The Dukes will win their 3rd in a row. Is punted back to Schroba, who makes the fair catch. Next week's game against Campbell is a 3:30 start time. Our air time will be 3:30 for JMU football. And for the Phoenix of Elon, their next outing is at home against Villanova. In fact, it's homecoming for both schools next weekend, and the start time down at Elon next week is at 2 o'clock. That's just the 3rd time those two programs will meet.
So the Dukes are content here to just take a knee and wind the clock down, and everybody can go take a shower and get dry. But this was a game that started in very unusual fashion. Madison marched right down the field, had, by my count, 6 tries because of 2 offsides penalties against Elon to try to get the ball in the end zone, but the Phoenix defense was really stiff and came up with a terrific defensive stand. Madison went away with no points. They were able to get on the board, but Phoenix answered, and it was seesaw for a couple of possessions until the Dukes really took control.
You know, it's interesting. Cole Johnson, his first real true assignment was when Brian Shore fractured his collarbone late in the 2016 season, and Cole got his first start against the Phoenix of Elon back during that 2016 campaign. It was a big win for the Dukes as it helped them eventually on their way to the national championship.
And that is going to do it. Kurt Signetti, who coached the Phoenix 3 years ago, and in his 3rd season here at James Madison, knows both these programs well, has done remarkable things with both schools. He gets a little revenge here this afternoon as the Dukes are victorious in fairly dominating fashion, 45-21.
All right, we'll take a quick timeout. We will have Coach Curt Cignetti. We'll chat with him. Corey Spector is going to get him down on the field level in just a moment. But we'll take a timeout here. The Dukes win it this afternoon, 45-21 over the Phoenix of Elon. You've watched it right here, and it's all been presented to you by Learfield. Welcome back, everyone, to Bridgeport Stadium. A victory today for the Dukes of James Madison, improving to 7-1. JMU has had winning seasons all the way back to 2003 now, with at least a 500 record. Of course, that was clinched last week, but 7-1 this year. A 5-1 in the CAA, and they're tied for first, although Villanova does have that head-to-head tiebreaker. What they need to happen is a little help continue to win for JMU and Villanova to get a loss to get the outright CAA championship. We're going to get a little bit of perspective from Coach Cignetti here in just a moment. A couple of numbers to float out at you is that Cole Johnson finished 22 for 25, 307 yards passing, Steve. 6 touchdowns. We talked so much about Davis Cheek, but we probably should have talked more about Cole Johnson.
Well, he did a fabulous job, so you really can't overstate how great he was today.
All right, Coach Cignetti is with Corey Spector down at field level. Corey?
Well, thank you, Kurt. Coach Cignetti is alongside me, and Coach Cole Johnson sets a program record for a single game with 6 passing touchdowns. How do you do it?
21 for 22 at halftime for 333 yards. And Wells had a half and Thornton, but, they were trying to stop the run, and we had guys open. He was putting the ball there. The line was protected.
How about this offensive line? Liam Fornato comes back in. Stanley Hubbard filling in for JT Timming. What'd you see from them today?
Saw a lot of production, good pass protection for the most part. Looked like they functioned really well.
Davis Cheek is a quarterback that you've coached with for a couple of seasons. 2 times you faced him, you've limited those offenses to 35 points. What's worked well against him? Teacher going against the student.
Well, you got to pressure them and get them off rhythm. But, they had a 14-play drive, and then we responded with a quick, maybe a 1-play touchdown to Thornton, and then next series got the interception. That was the big sequence right there.
Hot shower after this to rub off the rain?
Absolutely.
Coach, thanks so much for the time.
Go Dukes.
Kurt, back to you.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Do appreciate that. Corey's got more work to do. He's got to go do the men's soccer match tonight, so he's on the third leg of his journey here this evening. But Coach Cignetti will head into the locker room here to talk with the Dukes, and I'm sure they'll be singing the fight song in there as well. Here are the game stats for today, and the passing yards finishes at 307. Total yards 454 to 287.
Boy, that's amazing. And again, this is a good Elon team coming off 3 straight wins with a great quarterback. But the Dukes, whatever game plan they pulled up today, worked well. As Coach said, protection for the quarterback, give Cole Johnson a chance. The running attack, they didn't go away from it. They stayed with it for the most part. But the receivers were open. And if you give any quarterback, whether it's Cole Johnson or Davis Cheek, time, they're going to find somebody. And more often than not, it was Cole Johnson today with 6 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers.
Just a tremendous day. Good win for the JMU Dukes, and they'll go step away from CAA play next week here against the Camels of Campbell University. First all-time meeting between these programs in college football. Some folks that we would like to thank, first of all, our producer today, Kelly Bowmaster, director John Hodges. Technical director was Dan Tierney. Also here in the booth with us, I want to thank Ethan Copeland for his spotting help with us today. We appreciate the work from the folks at Telemedia and VPM. Also the SID for Elon, Jason Mabel, and Chris Brooks here at James Madison University. Steve, thanks for joining me this week. We look forward to having you back next week for the Dukes and the Campbell Camels.
Can't wait to get back down here, Kurt.
All right, so for Corey Spector and Steve Buckhantz, I'm Kurt Dudley, saying so long, everyone, as the proceeding has been a Learfield presentation of James Madison University Athletics, the JMU Sports Network, and Learfield. 45-21 our final. Good night from Bridgeford Stadium.
These are beautiful.
Yes, your new baby is here. Now all you want is to take her for a spin. But you can't.
Stop.
Because your other baby, the human one, just opened a nail salon. No problem. CarMax delivers right to your door, so you don't have to lift a finger. Because that's the way it should be. CarMax.
Cross Keys Vineyards. Open daily.
At Excel Heating and Cooling, we know you spend a lot of time in your home, maybe more than before. Being comfortable is something you forget about until it becomes a problem. We want you to be comfortable. Get your heating and cooling system tune-up for only $79. We'll make sure your system is keeping you cozy. If there's an issue, we've got solutions, like the Excel Comfort Series heat pumps and furnaces. Excel Heating and Cooling. Comfort by design.
Virginia Business Systems has been solving our customers' most challenging business problems for over 65 years. With best-in-class office productivity solutions from Konica Minolta, HP, Xerox, and Lexmark, Virginia Business Systems provides fast-forward office technology that saves time and money for your business. Call or visit our website today and see how VBS can help your company grow through superior technology and service.